All right, let's do this.
I ain't watching shit.
What up, what up, what up? A2HH live on a Wednesday. Coop, how we doing today, man?
We're good, man. I had a good day.
Yeah, man,
how's your
today
day?
has been a good day.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
It's been a good day. Cheers
That's
to
funny.
that.
It wasn't playing, but Ice Cube was playing when I was getting out the car.
Shout out to Cube.
Yeah.
We still got to get Cube on the show.
You know how we
We all
do
live,
it.
right?
West Side.
Okay. I want to make sure, man, because I'm not seeing it on my end. I'm sure it's a delay or whatnot.
I got a notification for once.
You got a
about the show.
notification? Good,
Stellar
good.
work. Look
Well,
at
you know what?
YouTube.
There's a lot going
Shout
on.
out to YouTube.
Shout out to YouTube. They've been pretty generous with the algorithm lately. I think that, the
About
people have
damn
been speaking.
time, but okay.
Right. Time
Late
actually
as hell, but
makes
whatever.
it happen, right?
Yay.
Well, I heard that, okay, let me rewind before I even said
Tell
my
the
original
DJ bring
statement.
it back. Tell the DJ bring it back.
So yesterday I jumped on live, talked to the people just to make sure that I wasn't being too harsh in my critiques of Eminem's verse, right? On The Realist.
Okay, the verse.
The verse, right.
Okay. I mean, I don't think you really critiqued the verse like that harshly. I just think you did what you normally do.
Well, no, the bars was kind of weak here and there. That Dubai and Dubai was weak.
You pointed out some of the weaker moments, like
Yeah.
you've been prone to do with Eminem. That's
I
not
mean, there
like
really
anything
weren't
that-
too many strong moments. The one strong moment was the Melly Mel part. And so, yeah, I talked about that. And, I was conversing with the people. Leroy Green was in the building. 36 Chambers was in the building. He felt like I was going too hard. But anyway, that's when they told me that Melly Mel had a diss record dropping at 5 o'clock that day, right? And because I was saying, yo, Melly Mel does not need to respond. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want Melly Mel to continue to do what he's doing with the interviews, giving his opinion on hip hop, speaking as an elder statesman in that way. Because I felt like it was a lose-lose situation, right? Like, if the record was good, people would say he was clout chasing, or they would deny that it was good, like they did with Game and stuff. Or if it was bad, like it kind of ended up being, then it's like everything he says now is null and void. You know what I mean? And he went out there, put out the record. Did you hear it? You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't.
You got to hear it, Coop. I wish we could play it right here. CJ Kid with the super chat says, you guys might call me crazy, but I used to debate between what I like better between Today's a Good Day and You Know How We Do It. I love You Know How We Do It. That shit came on in the car the other day. I stopped the car.
That's what was just playing. I was like, man, I kind of don't want to get out the car, but
let
it's
me
like 6 o'clock.
let me brief you on the Melly Mel diss though.
Yeah, you run it down for me.
I think the strongest moment.
I didn't.
I'm gonna start with the strongest
I didn't
moment.
want to listen to
and
it
why
either.
didn't you want to listen to it?
Because I don't want to look at him that way
Okay.
on the week that hip hop is turning 50. That's why I didn't listen. Of course,
Yeah.
I had time to. It's like, no, I was like, I'm not doing it this week.
You didn't think it was gonna be good.
Well,
Let's be real.
It's not even about it not being good. It's like, well, that's not how I want to talk about him this week, especially seeing how we're about to have a group conversation to conclude this show.
Yeah.
And I have some things to say about him and the group he was a part of. And I'd rather talk about him in that way than whatever his diatribe and wax might have just been. But go ahead.
All right. One of the
Proceed.
biggest things that I think that I took away from his diss record is, again, something I said on the live, and I think I might have said this Monday. He said something along the lines of, you avoiding the game, but you're speaking my name. And I thought that was really interesting because, again, I said yesterday, I feel like strategically Eminem was like, cool, I'm going to say Melly Mel's name because, what's going to happen? But I'm not going to say the game's name. I'm going to throw a subliminal at him. Because if he would actually mention the game's name, I think that the response would have been a lot different than what Melly Mel brought. But to Melly Mel's record, it's very old school, and he's rhyming in a style cadence that, puts you back in like 1982. And I think that's where a lot of the laughter online comes from, where people are, saying that the record's not good because he's delivering it in a way that the palate of somebody from that era could only receive it. He didn't update his formula, right? And I think that's just an interesting topic altogether. Like that, I think that speaks to the Run DMCs of the world, the Curtis Blows of the world, who's celebrating a birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday to Curtis Blow. And it lets you know that hip hop is such an ever changing thing and such a, and when they say it's a young man's game, and a lot of people are out here changing that narrative, but it's a fresh game. I wouldn't even say a young man's game, because let's look at Nas and what him and Hit Boy are doing, right? That's some fresh shit where it's like you're getting fresh energy, and Melly Mel rhyming in a cadence that is, you know, very early 80s doesn't connect with people in this way now, and we're hearing that from this record. I don't think that takes away from who he is as a lyricist or who he was as a lyricist at that time. I think it just speaks to, you know, hip hop. And like you said, in this week of Hip Hop 50, we're seeing that we don't really appreciate the styles from yesteryear if they're not updated. You know what I mean?
I think we do appreciate them when we see them live and hear them live.
And we hear the old stuff.
And when we actually hear the old stuff, correct.
Yeah.
So I think the problem is that when you try to take the old formula and insert it into the new climate, I don't even think it's necessarily the old formula. It's like it's almost like doing the derivative on a calculus problem wrong. It's like, oh, well, you put in the wrong derivative, so you can't get the right answer when you put in the wrong derivative.
And I think when we talk about all-time lists, and I think that's where all this started from, it makes it very difficult. And I think we told the audience that here, it makes it very difficult for people from a certain era to be placed over people who did it in multiple eras, right? I think that changing and being able to evolve and develop with hip hop matters in this hip hop sphere, obviously, because as great as Melly Mel was, and Melly Mel was the greatest rapper in the early 80s. I think most people would say that. The greatest lyricist in the early 80s, either him or Cool D, however you want to spin it. But now people don't get that because he's rhyming from a stylistic point from 40 years ago. And I think that's an interesting thing. That's something we don't get in other genres either. Like I think if Otis Redding came out today with his same approach, and you do hear newer artists take on the cadences of a Marvin Gaye, not Curtis Mayfield. Who am I thinking about? I'm thinking about Sam Cooke or Otis Redding, it goes. Yeah. You know what I mean? But in hip hop, if you take on a cadence from yesteryear, niggas like, that's that old shit. It's interesting, you know what I mean?
So it's funny that you say that, and we're even referencing this. So something came on my mix today on my playlist, "Forever My Lady" by Jodeci. Mike, I would squab with you that might be better than Jade's "Don't Walk Away" as like best 90s R&B song. But "Forever My Lady" has that Bobby Womack, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke old school kind of feel.
It's refreshing when we get that, right?
No, Mike, but it's updated for its time.
Yeah.
It has the feel, the soul, the vocal sensibilities and quality, but it has a fresh look. And what I think is going on with rap that's always going on, and that's what I mean, it really doesn't matter how new you are, it matters how fresh you are.
I think we always called it a young man's game, but like you said, it's a fresh man's game.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I hate to say it, it's like we've spent most of our time in the time that we've been doing this podcast disseminating about people who are over 35 more than people who are under 35 because they've made more quality music, quite frankly.
Well, I think that might speak to our palate as well, but I can agree with that. I think JID, how old is JID now?
Late 20s?
I feel like he's late 20s, if that. I mean, he has to be late 20s. I don't think he's early 20s.
Speaking of which, I didn't get the chance to say this. That Eminem record, what's the guy that they did the record, whose record it is that they just signed?
Easy Mill.
Easy Mill? Didn't you feel a little JID in there? Didn't you hear a little JID?
It was a little JID, Kendrick, Eminem-ish.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure that I wasn't the only one who heard that.
No, definitely. But as far as the Melly Mel record, though, again, I think it was a misstep to come with it so quick, come with it, like you said, at this week.
Could have waited till
I don't know who did the beat, but, the beat didn't even really.
Could have waited till next week.
Yeah, I mean, I love Melly Mel. None of this changes anything, but I think he definitely should have kept this. I mean, we've talked about this before. We think people like Melly Mel, even Cool D, and Curtis have to be a part of a different list. I don't even feel comfortable, meshing them in with some of the contemporaries.
JID's 32.
Okay, JID's 32. Well, see, yeah, he's in his 30s.
How's our sound? Some people are saying we need to fix our sound. How's our sound?
Yeah. How's the sound, guys? How's the sound? I want to make sure that the sound's good because we're gonna get real heavy tonight talking about some hip hop. But I think that for me, this further solidifies the fact that Eminem does not want it with the game.
That's what you got out of all of this.
That's what I got out of all of this.
Okay.
I mean, the opportunity was there. He took the opportunity and took a shot at the legendary Melly Mel. But the game got a subliminal, man. And honestly, man, I might need to, for the people out there who were calling the Black Slim Shady week, I might need to do a little mic check breakdown on that verse too, because that verse is kind of heavy. That verse is definitely better than Eminem's The Realest verse.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy.
You don't think the game deserves a response?
I mean, I think he kind of halfway got one. You don't think that's enough? You don't think it's respectful or respectable?
I don't think that is respectable. It's respectful enough. I think Game has done enough in this game, done enough for his coast to warrant a worthy response. And he already put it out there that it was just competitive. It's nothing, street, nothing violent about it, nothing personal. I think on a competitive level, if Game wants to step up to the plate, I think that he's done enough to warrant a response.
Is Eminem even really working on material right now? Is he even is that a thing for him right now? Even really?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
How many albums have we gotten since we've been doing this pod? Been doing this pod about 3 years. He's done one album.
I think one.
Right.
But he had done
Murdered By.
Music to Be Murdered By, and I feel like he did one. Right before that. I think that was right before we started the podcast, though. I would love to be able to talk about an Eminem album on this podcast.
Well, you did.
Did I?
Yeah. You didn't like it.
Oh, you talking about Music to Be? I'm talking about now. That was early on. I need to go back in the archives and check that. Did you like it? I don't even really remember that episode.
I remember we gave it I gave it a 3.5. And there's no telling what you did. Quite frankly.
No telling.
Especially it was early on too. Yeah.
Right, it was early on. This was probably uncut.
That was pandemic times.
Yeah.
A lot of old fashions.
I probably was talking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably wasn't even something that was made for YouTube or Facebook at the time. We did that one on Instagram,
that's
I think,
when we
maybe.
were on Instagram Live.
I'm going to have to go back and try to find that.
Yeah, it should be somewhere.
But I'm going to go back and listen to the album, too. But, again, I don't know, man.
Yeah, people are still saying our audio's low.
The audio's low?
Yeah, people are still saying that.
Let's do this, man. Let me hear it for myself, because sometimes, people's devices be fucking up.
Turn up my mic, son.
Yeah, let's see.
Turn up my mic, yo.
Like.
No turn up my mic.
Are we good?
No
okay.
bars. You don't want no bars?
Just want to make sure we good.
Just ask questions.
But yeah. So I think the diss record is getting a lot of flack based on I think generational gaps that we have in hip hop.
It's normal.
Yeah, and that's why I said I don't think that Melly Mel should have responded.
And this is further proof that the intro to Moment of Truth, the best intro ever.
Yeah.
It's very, very real what's being said.
People were like, yo, what is this? It's so funny, man, when you hear somebody rapping in the...
Update your formula with the times.
Rakim changed everything. Rakim changed everything.
Well, that's what I mean. And so part of why Melly Mel is so important is that he inspired the guys who made the changes.
Mm-hmm.
He's the inspiration for the guys that made the changes, because you hear most of them be like Melly Mel, Kool Moe Dee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
why do you think that, I think Rakim changed things, but why do you think that they just didn't adjust to that change? Do you think that the change was too difficult, or do you think that they thought that new way of rhyming was going to just, pass over and they could,
it's very early, rap is competitive.
Yeah.
A little bit of jealousy, a little bit of tension possibly.
So if those guys would have adapted to that style, do you think that they would have been looked at as biters? Because their style is their style.
That depends. How do you feel about somebody like LL still, who people say like took some of Kane's flow, or like when Will Smith took Rakim's flow for Summertime? Do you think less of them overall because of that?
Well, I personally think Rakim wrote Summertime, but
That's not what I asked.
but that's not what they said. But hypothetically, if Will Smith did write Summertime and was doing it in the vein of Rakim, no, I don't think less of them, but it's just hard to even explain because where was the vocabulary? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the things that Will was saying in Summertime weren't things that we were accustomed to hearing him saying before or after.
I feel delivery wise.
Here it is. Groove, slightly transform. Just a little to break from the norm. Just a little something to break the monotony. Oh my God, that sounds like ghetto to me. You know what I'm saying? Quiet is kept on a hush, hush. I can do like a whole mashup with ghetto and Summertime. CJ Kidd with the super chat says, Mike, I think
Nobody asked you any of that.
CJ Kidd said, Mike, I think M is going to end up sending a few subliminals at you if you find some time to send some shots at Misfit for Math Hoffa's podcast, because he felt MGK killed him. Then, at this point, you're fair game. Nah, I don't think M's going to say anything like that. CJ Kidd with the super chat says, also, Coop, your mic sounds lower than Mike's mic. Okay, I guess that's what they're saying.
Can we get some mic up?
Get some mic up so we can get the show going. But yeah, man.
I don't need to speak up. I need my mic. Turn my mic up, son.
Turn my mic up. It's time to get rowdy.
Yo.
But yeah, man, I think the LL, though, the key to his longevity, especially coming from that era, was adjusting. And I don't know if
So there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that back then, though, it was so early they didn't know if it was going to be anything wrong with it. Like, can you imagine if Run DMC or Houdini updated what they were doing? People were like,
Run DMC tried. That's how we got down with the Kings.
But that was years later. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They saw that it was no coming back, and it's like, you know what? I got to change.
I mean, how many years was it? What was it?
Down with the King had to be like 91, 92.
I feel 91.
Was it? Okay.
How long of a break was it between that and their last album?
Because I think it was Tougher Than Leather that was before that, right? So that was like 88-ish. And imagine that, man, like around 88 when you got Slick Rick dropping The Great Adventures, you got It Takes a Nation, you got Straight Outta Compton, and Run DMC is rapping like, you know, Tougher Than Leather. It's like, you got to update what's going on. See, we got another super chat here. Midget Mike with the super chat says, we was there. Y'all don't think Big L was coming for Jay-Z's spot and Big Pun's spot? I'm sorry, and Big Pun coming for Nas's spot in that era? I think it's a competitive thing, too. I agree with you. I mean, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback it and, you know, have revisionist history, but I would imagine that those guys were so competitive that they didn't want to latch on to any other styles.
See, so Run DMC, the album comes out in 84. King of Rock is 85. Raising Hell is 86. Tougher Than Leather is 88. I went to the movies with my cousins to see Tougher Than Leather. I remember that. Back from Hell is 90.
I forgot about Back from Hell.
Everybody did.
What's on there?
Nothing, I think. Down with the King is 93.
Okay, 93. I wonder how they were rapping on Back from Hell.
It'd be interesting to see. I'm trying to
see what song is on there.
Pause,
so we can kind of.
What's It All About? Faces. Those are the singles.
I don't even remember those songs, dude.
Said they introduced a new musical style, New Jack Swing, with the songs Faces and Pause.
I'm gonna go listen to that album.
We need to.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about greatest groups today, too. And I think that all of this, of course, I think all of these conversations are relevant when it comes to us talking about the greatest and the greatest groups, especially because early on, there were nothing but groups.
What you'll find is that, you know, because hip-hop did mostly start on the East Coast, so many more groups come from there.
Yeah.
It is the tougher coast to pick from as far as groups, because you can have you can have a 10 and then you can have a whole nother 10.
Yeah.
And then you can still have some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into the group conversation, Nas is releasing Motion, I think tomorrow, the music video. So he put a clip out there on his Instagram. It looked pretty dope. I love the full speed ahead approach that they got going on. Nas and Hit Boy, like they're not stopping. They're keeping it moving, keeping it pushing. Got a new video coming out, and Nas also got inducted into the Billboard's Hip Hop Hall of Fame. First of all, I didn't know that the Billboard had a Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Maybe Nas is the first one in it, but he got inducted. So congratulations on that end. And Nas said something that kind of piggybacks on what we just talked about. Mm-hmm. In a recent interview, I think it was with Billboard, Nas said that he would like for more Emcees from his era or older Emcees to do what he's doing right now. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be better for hip-hop. What do you think about that statement?
I told you I thought we were going to get more releases this year from more quote-unquote legends.
Do you think he's speaking in general, or do you think he has certain people in mind when he says that?
No, I think it is general because there are enough legends out there that aren't recording material that's around his age bracket.
Yeah. CJ Kidd with the Super Chat says, I always wanted to know, back in your rapping days, did you guys battle anybody face-to-face? If so, did you guys feel nervous to do it, or did it just come easy?
Yes.
You know, I wasn't really a battler. I was like a songwriter and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I would freestyle in ciphers and stuff, but it wasn't like a Cassidy thing where, you know what I'm saying, you up in somebody's face and like, you know, 106 and Park type shit.
I never battled like that. That's kind of like a little bit kind of TV-ish a little bit.
Right.
But it's like, yes, I have, and yes, I was nervous every time, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I like it when, like, you know, you feel like, you know, a little threatened, a little challenged, a little, you know, when you have to, Yeah,
it keeps you on point.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like a boxer.
Feeling. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a healthy adrenaline. Yeah.
Do you think that think we're gonna get any Jay-Z material after this Nas statement? Yeah, you know, you got. I mean,
Beyonce will be here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
and Jay will be here too because Beyonce's here.
Well, this is the thing, right?
But what he's not doing right now is recording music. It seems.
No.
Although I like the whole Jay-Z Travis Scott thing I came up with. I think that could be good for him.
To do what Nas is doing right now and what he is putting forth, I think that it kind of goes without saying that we would like to see, or it seems like the older guys or the more veteran MCs might need to connect with some younger legends on the production end.
Yeah.
And so if what he's proposing is something that could actually happen, like you said, Jay, or who else are we talking about here? Eminem, like they're going to have to connect with some of the younger guys that are bringing heat. Who's a good match for Jay? You said Travis Scott, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Who's a good match for Metro? Let's do it in reverse. What veteran would you match with Metro on a production end?
He's still active, but Busta probably comes to mind. Or Meth. Busta or Meth come to mind.
I would like to hear Method Man and Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about Meth's voice over a Metro beat.
Because Method Man's still rhyming at a high level.
Well, his flow is just so silky too. Like Metro's beats, like they bang, but they're kind of they're silky, and I mean that like in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could see him in Meth's flows, but also like some of the pace that Metro uses with his tracks, I can see that fitting Busta and Busta having fun, like with the track.
I could see that. I could see that because I wish Busta would have worked a little bit more with Timbaland, and I feel like Timbaland and Metro have a but. Do you think it's a mistake that Busta is working with Pharrell, Swiss, and Timbaland on his new album?
Mistake is a strong word, but
misstep.
But we're having a conversation about, quite frankly, to start off the show, about formulas and the updating or the predating or the lack of dating them. And so, while I don't think he's necessarily doing anything wrong inherently, and all these guys know him well, and it's probably a good comfort zone, it does make me worried a little bit what it's going to sound like, you know, in 2023 as we approach the fall.
Yeah, these are guys that he's worked with I mean, since the 90s,
Like
early
when-
2000s.
Like that's what I'm saying. When did Past the Cavassier come out? Think about that.
That was like 02.
You know,
And I think that, you know, when
a
you're in
long
the
time ago.
studio with people that you've made great things with in different eras, you're inherently going to get in there and try to recreate this stuff.
I don't know if recreate is what you try to do, but it is going to be hard to match some of the previous work. And
Well, the
that's-
listeners are going to compare.
And that's why it's sometimes wise to use like a fresh canvas.
That's why you're not going to probably get that Nas and Primo thing, because people are going to compare anything new that they do to everything that they did 20 years ago.
You seen the little Wu-Tang ice?
Mm-hmm.
So the spot that I was at had a drink called the ODB, and they brand it with a Wu-Tang.
That's dope.
But so I'm in there, and New York State of Mind comes on, and this kid has to be like 22, 23 years old. And he's like, that's his best shit. And he starts rapping it word for word. And I'm like, that's why there's not a Nas and Primo album.
Yeah.
Because even the 22-year-old has heard New York State of Mind now, probably via Ozarks. And you know what I'm saying?
Or probably just been told that
or by, you know, osmosis through hip hop culture. And, you know, it's like that with the Primo and the Nas record. So it's like, hell no, I don't think there's about to be.
We need new music, man. Like,
right.
you know, and I think I
and
look
if
at
I want to
things.
hear Nas, it's like I play Nas. It's like.
I think I look at things differently now. Like I used to. I remember back when, I mean, I was a kid then, but you know, Quincy and Michael stopped working together. And I'm like, man, why? But I understand now. You got to move on, and you got to continue to update your formulas and stuff. Because if they kept making albums together over and over and over again, after a while, we're gonna say, you know what? They just ain't got it no more. This ain't Thriller. This ain't Off the Wall.
Right, and then it tarnishes some of the legacy.
It does.
And then you're like, oh, well, they were good early on, but then, you know, late it kind of got.
CJ Kid with a super chat says, plenty of veterans have recorded albums for years. Unless Nas means have a veteran team up with a young new producer like Nas and Hit. I agree. I mean, Raekwon never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Ghost has been putting out stuff for years, but I do think that there's something to this formula of veterans working with, you know, I guess younger legends, you know?
Okay, so even with that, it's like, okay, Purple Tape 2 is Ray's formula, like updated.
Right.
But what does it look like today?
What do you mean?
Like, what's his formula today?
What's Ray's formula today? I would like to see Ray connect with somebody. I thought that was going to happen with Kanye, but
that would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
That would have been real nice.
He was around for a lot of that stuff during My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that Good Friday stuff. So I thought something was going to come from that.
Gorgeous is one of my favorite records on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear, I think, speaking of Kanye,
of course,
Jay said something about.
Of
course. You know, Kanye is a hot topic on here. RZA said that Jay told him that he was the inspiration for the Blueprint or something like that.
There are so many caps to go around. Like, there are any more caps, we're gonna need gowns.
Is he
people are graduating.
He's trying to discredit what Kanye said on Drink Champs, I see. That's what this seems like.
The petty level is just never going to stop.
Or maybe me, because I am the person on this show that said Kanye is the Blueprint. And Bink.
You always throw Bink in on the back end.
No, I mean, not like that, but we know date-wise, those records that Kanye made for the Blueprint are older songs that, you know, Chicago artists rhyme to. Like Never Change is an old beat. So I think a lot of people were kind of adjusting to what he did soul-wise, but it's funny that, you know,
that's
Jay
fair.
told RZA.
No, that's fair. I understand.
And clearly Kanye got what he was doing from the RZA. You know, we know that. But it's funny.
Kind of obvious.
But it's funny that Jay told RZA that, you know, you were the inspiration for the Blueprint, kind of circumventing the person who was inspired by the, you know. Midget Mike with the super chat says, while the legends are alive, we need AZ and Nas album. If AZ and Nas did an album, who would you like to see produce it?
See, there we go again with that. It's like, no. Because if it's not Life's a Bitch and Phone Tap, we're all going to sit up here and be like, well, you want to know what? I think maybe they should have just left it where it was.
What about the Flyers? I think those guys could do an album where it wouldn't be compared to Life's a Bitch. They've done so much after Life's a Bitch. Just to make dope music.
I mean,
because they're both.
Who would you like to see produce it? I'd like to see Havoc produce it.
That'd be dope. I'm with that.
If we're gonna do it like that, I'm gonna say
I'm with
Havoc
that.
do it.
I would like to see Havoc produce something.
Like, I don't want to hear no, like, you, not being funny. I don't, or you know, like I don't want to have no fancy ass producer like a Kanye do a project like that.
Well, you know, Kanye has shown in recent years that he has dropped the ball with big assignments like that.
No fancy ass producers for the Nas AZ project.
Yeah, I mean,
give me Havoc.
Even though he did what he did with Daytona, which was impressive, he turned right back around and we got
After
Nas
watching
here.
some Large Professor interviews, I'd say, yeah, I'm cool with Havoc and Large Professor doing a Nas and AZ album.
Havoc and Large Professor.
Yep, that would
I
be
would like
dope.
to see Large Professor paired up with somebody. Now, if we did this in reverse, how you feel about Large Professor and like Joey Badass or something? Because I feel like Joey needs something. I like what him and Static Selector have, and I think Static Selector's another one that could be thrown into the fold of working with a veteran.
What do you think about Vince Staples and Large Professor?
I like that. I think that's fun. Yeah. I like Vince. Vince is creative.
I like Vince too.
Who would you pair up with Static Selector? What legendary MC? You think Raekwon?
No. Ooh, Kiss.
I like that.
Yeah, Kiss.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah,
Static Selector and Kiss.
Yeah.
Because Static is super consistent when it comes to the production. And I think that's one of the knocks on Kiss, though, right? Is it the production? Kind of up and down?
You want to know what it might be with Kiss? Might be the hooks, Mike.
What's his best hook?
Like, think of what Jada
We
Kiss
gonna make
hook?
it? That's just we gonna make it. We gonna make it. It might be the hooks for Jada.
Because when I look at it, it's like, no, he doesn't even necessarily pick bad beats. A lot of the beats are dope. We know what the rhyme and the rhyme scheme is like.
Oh yeah, the rhymes are there. Brandon Charles with the super chat says, "I've never heard you guys talk about the cool kids. I think they belong to be spoken about in talks of all-time groups. They're so underrated. They're about to drop an album with Manny Fresh. That's dope.
Well,
you know, I need to get back on the cool kids, man.
It's funny that that's being brought up because I did a Midwest list, and guess who made the list?
Oh, you got the cool kids on there?
I sure do.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually were going to talk about them briefly today because they made part of my list. Yeah.
We'll talk about the cool kids briefly because I'm really not. I mean, I remember hearing a lot of this stuff around that time, but I'm not really up on their catalog like that.
First of all, like there's a dearth of groups in the Midwest, and I found that to be kind of startling, like in terms of like notable groups. I think they're just kind of ahead of the curve for a lot of the rap that we hear from a Tyler, from a Joey. They're kind of out of that vein,
right,
Mike. So it's like that would be the best synopsis of them, you know. And
shout out to the cool kids,
and like you know, like that, like a street sensibility to it, but like kind of like a modern street sensibility to it. It's like they weren't really talking the way that like they don't talk like Ray and Ghost. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, Offset, he got on a radio interview a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about the Billboard list with groups, and Migos made number 11 on that group, and Offset feels like Migos should be a top 10 group. I can understand where he's coming from on that. I was happy that they got 11.
You can.
I can understand it. I mean, I don't fully agree.
I bet.
I don't fully agree, but when you think about it, think about his era, his generation, they didn't really have any groups around. So in their era, they don't see anybody, right? They changed things from a stylistic standpoint. Obviously, there's an impact there. They have the longevity. They were a group for 10 years. They got the material. They got the mixtape stuff. They got the album stuff. They got the hits. And so I can understand where he's coming from, even though I don't agree. I think that we have to somehow put groups on a scale. Like, how are we judging this? You know what I mean? Because if you look at the longevity of it, that's kind of the Achilles heel for a lot of groups. You know what I mean? And not many groups lasted 10 years in this hip-hop game.
Do you think the Migos are better than EPMD?
I'm not the right person to ask for that because
people
EPMD is slightly before my era, so I kind of had to go back and listen to EPMD in that way.
When we had the Eric Sermon battle, you hit me with some haymakers.
Yeah. EPMD got some shit, but
haymakers.
Listen. That depends on who you ask, but objectively, based on what was done, impact, hits, chemistry as a group, I might put Migos ahead of EPMD, even if I might listen to EPMD's albums before I listen to the Migos albums.
Okay, fair. What about 8 Ball and MJG?
Nah, I can't.
See what I'm saying? You see
I can't.
What about UGK?
I can't do that either.
3-6 Mafia.
Because of impact, I can't do that either.
Outkast.
No.
So just in
but
the
this
South,
is what I'm gonna say.
So just in the South, we're already at 5, Mike. You
but this is what I'm gonna say.
I just said Outkast, 8 Ball and MJG, 3-6 and UGK, and you would say no.
Yeah,
like a Destiny Child song. So they're bare minimum 5th in the South. So
but
no way.
Objectively speaking,
no way they're top 10.
Objectively speaking,
we're not even sure if they're
and
top 5
based on like, let's just say, if we're looking at it from a lens of a different generation, I think that the 8 Ball, MJG, and UGK may be arguable for a certain era. I don't think the cast and 3-6 is. 3-6's legacy has grown over time, and we're going to talk about them too. But I think those are conversations. You know what I'm saying? I think the Ball and G, one could say, no, I think Ball and G are better rappers than the Migos. I think they made better albums. But one could say, you know what, impact, hits, you know, the chemistry as a group, performance, they can make that argument. I'm just trying to be objective here. Oh, Stephon Young with the super chat says Jadakiss and Alchemist would be good. Everybody throws Alchemist on everybody.
Right. No, that what?
Now give me static.
What do you think? What do you think We Gonna Make It is?
Right.
They did that.
Leroy Green with the super chat says when folks talk about what producers, rappers should use, they just gonna go with any popular names that they know. Go get some musicians and have them produce, and then you'll see hip-hop tap into a new ground. I feel that. Uncle Fran with the super chat says, Mike, why do you think that the angry Eminem fans decided to fight you back throwing shots at Jay, not Nas? What? What happened? I must have missed that in the chat. Why do you think that the angry M fans decided to fight you back throwing shots at Jay, not Nas? Oh, I think he's talking about when people were saying that if Jay would have said it, I would have thought it was dope.
I said that.
Yeah.
I specifically said that, and I meant that.
If Jay would have said that Dubai, they Dubai, I would have not said that was dope. I would have not said that.
I think it's very problematic that you're skating on that.
That was dope.
You're skating.
AB Studios in Super Chat says, I would put Westside Connection over the Migos. Stop it.
So that's the thing about it. So when I did my list, Mike, Westside Connection, that's not a group. That's a collective.
Mm-hmm.
There's
it's like
a difference.
G-Unit, yeah.
G-Unit is a collective.
Yeah.
Big Timers, collective. Hot Boys, collective.
Yep.
Dipset, collective.
Yeah, solo acts coming together.
Collective.
Yeah. Chairman Raph with the super chat says, we need more Mike. I'm sorry. He said, Mike, we need more Eminem lyrics dissections. I got you. 36 Chambers.
Who said that? Block them. Block
36 Chambers of the super chat. Coop over here defending Eminem again.
They need to be blocked. Block them from doing anything.
Coop's defending M
Get rid of
again.
him.
36 Chambers with a super
Production
chat says, some camps would say that Migos changed the game for the worse. Migos aren't top 10 because they entered the game in a weak era of hip hop. Can't be great without competition. Hits don't make you top 10 all time. CJ Kidd with the super chat says, Migos over the Ghetto Boys, question mark.
I think that's arguable about the tenure, because the Ghetto Boys had a brief run early, broke up for a long time, came back together, did a project, and then kind of
They had different group formulations and all that stuff.
yeah, Big Mike.
And then even before, Scarface was a part of the group. So
Right.
yeah. Top 10.
That's what I mean. Like, so I mean, I guess this is this a good time to slide into our group list and start with the Southern groups?
We can do that.
Okay. So do you have your list?
I was picking like one that represented each side. Yeah. Yes, I got my list in my head.
That's terrible. All right.
So how did you do yours? You put 5 from each region?
10.
Oh, 10 from each region.
Yeah.
Well, go for it.
So just for the South alone, I have Outkast, 8 Ball and MJG, UGK, The Clips, 3-6 Mafia, Goody Mob, Little Brother, Ghetto Boys, Migos, and 2 Live Crew.
You got Little Brother over the Migos?
I do, Mike.
Why?
Because outside of the hits, everything that Little Brother does is better. Maybe stage performance. But outside of the hit records, everything says Little Brother.
Impact?
No, Migos can have impact. That's fair. That kind of coincides with the hits, though. Usually the person that has the hit, the person or the persons who have the hit records are the ones that have the impact.
Originality?
Definitely Little Brother.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought Little Brother was original in that way? Migos kind of came with a whole different sound.
From who?
From
Future?
everything. Yeah, from everything. Bando sounds like nothing of its time. I think that's more of a taste thing. And I think that when we talk about Migos, we have this hip-hop aesthetic in our head, what we think hip-hop is supposed to sound like.
I don't have a preconceived notion of what hip-hop is supposed to sound like. But also, too, there is genre bending and keeping it hip-hop, like, I don't know, Outkast, Goody Mob. So when you say that, it's like I get what you're saying about how we have, like, a preconditioned, like, aesthetic for what hip-hop should be. But it's just like, even for the longevity, Mike, it's like, well, those albums aren't like that. It's like the hits are like that, but the albums aren't really like that. Culture is by far their best piece of work. And it's the only album where I feel like there are records that aren't like hits or for mass consumption that are really, really good.
I think that
when you only have one album like that, it is hard.
I think the Young Rich Niggas album is, I don't know if that's considered a mixtape or album. It's all original music, but I think that's the one that actually has all the shit on it. I think Culture starts off extremely strong. But that Young Rich Niggas album that shit got classics. Jumping Out the Gym, you got Bando on there, you got Versace on there, you got
fair.
Chinatown on there.
I like
They
Chinatown.
got what else am I missing? Hannah Montana's on there. Like, they got some joints on there. They did a lot of work, man.
See, this is what I mean, Mike. Like Hannah Montana.
Oh, shout out to Mad Max. This is who I want to hear from. He says, Migos, the top 10 for sure. I saw NWA change the game for the worse with their content. Great point. Like, we have to stop. I'm taking Migos over Outkast, in my opinion. Easy.
Okay. Mad Max be saying crazy stuff.
Hey, man, he speaks for the youth.
He be talking like Rick James in 1983. You can't trust that.
He speaks for the youth. Kendall Outlaw with the super chat says Outkast, Bone Thugs, UGK, 3-6, Migos, top 75, maybe. I don't even think there's 75
and
hip-hop
this,
groups.
see, this is where it gets convoluted too. What about the Migos content is Mad Max talking about? What's their biggest record?
What, Bad and Bougie?
Mike, can you tell me how the hook goes again?
Well, my bitch is bad and bougie.
What's she
Cooking
doing?
up dope with the Uzi.
Hold on, pause for a second. She doing what?
No, man, he's just saying that they're not the only ones who might have changed the game.
No, she doing what? No, he talking about he watched NWA change the game for the worse with their content. How to hook the bad and bougie go again?
What I'm saying, what he's saying is that's no different than what NWA did. I think that's a good point. Because even with Lil' Kim's impact, a lot of people think Lil' Kim's impact was negative.
Mike,
impact is impact.
Saying cooking up dope with the Uzi in 2008?
Mm-hmm.
It's not
18. No, 16.
Whenever. Saying that shit in 2016? That's not the same as saying it in 1988. I'm sorry.
It's the same.
It's not the same impact. That's what I'm saying. So if that's the point that he's making, then that's like, well, that takes away from the impact because it's like, oh, well, you know, KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions and NWA been saying that shit.
I think you're missing his point. He was
Maybe
saying,
I am.
He was saying
Maybe
that
he doesn't have one.
No, his point was the fact that Migos' impact is perceived to be more negative as far as from a quality standpoint in some people's opinion. But impact is impact. How they changed the flow, right? Some people say, okay, they simplified the flow. They made the flow worse in some folks' opinion. But impact is impact.
I mean,
even negative impact.
So if I were to give you,
so
how original does it sound to you than per se than the stuff that like the Yin Yang Twins did, Mike? Because like I don't think it's that much of a difference stylistically.
I think they're very different. I think both of them are very original. You think that the Migos sound like Yin Yang Twins? I've never heard that.
I'm just saying, like, what's the difference stylistically to you about what they're doing?
I mean, they're different groups.
No. Explain to me though. Like, explain to me what's different about them.
It's just as different as Yin Yang Twins and Little Brother.
Okay. No, that's not the same.
They're different.
No. See,
how are they the same? Are you saying that they are the same?
They're kind of like just home run hit artists who happen like Migos are probably better than Yin Yang Twins, but I don't look at them like above and beyond. They did very much the same thing that Yin Yang Twins did. We came to them for big hit singles and for club bangers, and they did that.
They got underground bangers too. That's the other thing too.
When you're saying underground bangers, it's like that's a 50-50 proposition, Mike.
No, that makes them different.
Like you just said Hannah Montana on this show. That's what I'm saying.
Hannah Montana was hard. What you talking about? That was everywhere.
Hard, no, Mike, that's.
See, I see what you see, and you got Little Brother over these niggas.
It's just not that good.
Let's just be real, man. What Little Brother really got? If we want to keep it real,
they got the listening and the minstrel show.
Yeah, albums. What songs?
No. I gave Migos the songs though, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that you're punishing an era that wasn't about.
I'm just saying. You call Hannah Montana hard.
Hannah Montana was hard.
No, it's not. Mike.
It was hard.
You like Hannah Montana?
Hannah Montana was fire. I mean, we was outside when Hannah Montana was out. When that shit was dropped, people would have their hands up. You know what I mean? Like Hannah Montana was hard. That and Fight Night, all of that. Migos had bangers, man.
Fight Night's better.
But I never thought rapper Big Pooh was that dope. It's my opinion. I think that sometimes when people hide behind hip hop aesthetic production, we don't call them, less of an MC. I think that your production can kind of carry you into, having some level of hip hop credibility. Like when what rapper Big Pooh say on Hiding Place, a smooth criminal before the rape charge, like that's whack. Anyway, but if Offset would have said it over a trap beat, then everybody would have said it was whack. But if you could say whack bars over a Ninth Wonder Soul sample, it gets a pass. That's the hip hop world we live in.
So here's the reality. So of all the groups that I named, and I named 8 groups from the South before I named the Migos, you only brought up Little Brother. So let's say we put Migos ahead of Little Brother. Well, Mike, that still puts them at 8.
I would put them over. And I love Pusha T and Malice. I would put them over the Clips as a group.
I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't. You're a Clips fan, and I am too. But
you're a Migos fan.
I'm a fan of both. I'm a Neptunes fan too.
You're more of a Migos fan.
I mean, the Migos just have a better catalog. It is what it is.
Of what?
Of music.
What music? How many songs?
A whole bunch of songs.
No,
You
they
want to do
don't.
a versus?
Yes, they don't have 20 songs like that, Mike.
Oh, you want to do a versus with Migos and Clips? You think you're gonna win that?
Yeah, they've made way better material.
Come on, you think you're gonna win that?
They've made better material for longer and deeper. Hell, fuck yeah.
Okay, so you
Like,
want,
hell yeah. I got Re-Up Gang mixtapes. I got the stuff that they actually released.
Okay.
I got Lord Willin', Hell Hath No Fury, Until the Casket Drops. Those 3 albums are better than anything the Migos ever made, Mike, and
All
you
right,
know that.
Let's line it up.
Yeah,
book
you
it.
can line it up. That
36 Shame.
That Hannah Montana shit ain't gonna play when Mr. Me Too come on.
Okay,
Right.
I mean, I probably wouldn't line it up with Mr. Me Too, but
Oh, I'm gonna line it up.
you only
with
got
Mr.
how
Me
many
Too.
Mr. Me Too's you got in
I got
Clips
Grindin'.
catalog? How many grinding you got?
I mean, Mike, I hate to break it to you. After Bad and Bougie and T-Shirt, it's like you don't have these like all-time great
Are we
classic
gonna
hits
go?
that you think you
You're
hit.
gonna go with
Mike,
when the last time you heard it like this?
No, I don't even need that.
Smoke something good, something.
No, I don't even need that, Mike. You're going Hannah Montana. Right, that's what you got, Mike. So don't bring up when the last time.
Okay,
Right.
36 Chambers with a super chat says, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Outkast, Mobb
Yo,
Deep,
you wild.
Run DMC, Public Enemy, The Roots, Beastie Boys, Bone Thugs and Harmony, UGK, Gangstar, EPMD, NWA, Little Brother, Goody Mob. There's 15. Migos can't be top 10. Foolishness.
You think, Mike, how about this? This is what I'm saying. You want to talk about how the Migos got underground hits? It's like, no, Mike. Clips got underground hits.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying like that Migos shit that you think
Let's
is
do it.
underground. Mike, when you play some of that shit and I play something like Doorman, it's
love
like
Doorman.
no, you're not beating that. Or when I play Popeyes with Cameron, it's like no, you don't have anything for that because those guys, as much as I like them and enjoy them too, Mike, they're not quality album makers, and they don't have 20 big hits like you
Again,
think they do.
I think
Mike,
you're
they
punishing.
They don't have 20 hits like that.
This is
Mike.
the thing.
Their records ain't. No, Mike. Their records are good. They ain't like that, Mike.
This is the thing.
You think
Coop.
they done made 20 Bad and Bougies, and I'm telling you, they done made like 2 or 3 Bad and Bougies.
No, man, they
That's
got
not enough to beat Clips.
Listen, man.
Them
I
records
think
just okay, my G.
I think you're punishing an era that focused on singles and features
Them
more than
singles
albums.
is just good though, Mike. You
No,
think that they're
man.
great, Mike? You're being Atlanta biased. I'm sorry.
I could be.
You're being very
We
Atlanta
need
biased.
to line these up.
Because I'm sorry, outside of Atlanta, Mike, it's not like that.
Well, see, y'all were trying to tell me that Drake would beat Future, and I pulled that one out too. So I can
That's
pull
'cause
this one out.
This guy doesn't know what songs to pick. That is the worst list I've ever seen. Don't
I
even
would've
get me
beat you,
started.
too.
You wouldn't have beat me like that. No, see, you drugged him. You got drugged.
I
with
would've
that
beat
list.
you,
that
too.
List was awful.
Nah, he did a good job.
No, he didn't.
Kendall Outlaw with the super chat says, I would rather listen to them franchise boys than the Migos. All right, man.
That's
y'all need
disrespectful.
No, listen, y'all
Now,
need to
that's
tune in.
disrespectful.
Y'all need to tune in. Yeah, y'all need to tune in to our Clips and Migos matchup because I'm ready for this.
You don't want to do it.
Stephon Young with the super chat
You gonna
says,
hear how these records
Hannah
really
Montana
sound?
was trash and aged terribly.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. This shit now. This is what I mean. They make good stuff, not great stuff. So it's like stuff like Motorsport, that Hannah Montana. Ugh.
I'm not even gonna play stuff right
Please
now like
don't.
that.
It's
Uncle
not
Fran
gonna
with the
hold.
super chat says, guys, your
Not gonna
audio is
hold.
on mono. 36 Chambers with the super
That's the
chat says,
production
yeah,
team.
audio output for y'all is coming in on mono. What is going on back there? Let's
Can't
see.
pick a verses list. Can't get my mic right, son.
Yeah, man. But so you got Migos.
So
Not crap. I don't think they're top 10, granted. Now, but I can understand
we're just in the
with a
South,
certain
Mike.
generation.
They're just in the South, Mike. So we're clear about this though. Outkast, 8 Ball and MJG, UGK 3-6. We're clear about
I'm
those.
clear
right?
on those.
So at best place they're 5th. We're doing a
But
we're doing a Migos Clips battle.
But what
Goody Mob.
I love Goody, but I would have to put Migos ahead of them.
You need to fix my audio.
This
so I
is
can
my
curse
thing,
Mike
though,
out
Coop.
The way Mike deserves to be cursed out.
No, I personally.
Ain't nobody talk about you.
No,
personally.
listen to me. Listen to me. And I want this
Fix
to be
my mic.
I want this to be very clear because, Cujo.
Please be clear.
Yeah, let me be clear.
Speak clearly so the people can hear you.
Cujo hosted my first mixtape back in the day. You know what I mean? I love Goody Mob. Those guys raised me. But if I'm being objective and we look at the catalog and we look at everything from end to end from a longevity standpoint, I would have to give Migos that credit. I'm trying to be unbiased here. Homeboy Blaze of the super chat says,
You've officially made my head hurt.
he's got to go get some pills. Homeboy Blaze of the Super Chat says, where does groups like Phil Mob and Dirty rank in the South groups? That's a good question. I think Phil Mob's incredibly talented. Again, I think Phil Mob just didn't continue on.
See, I took Field Mob off my list to put Migos and 2 Live Crew on. I actually had Field Mob and Youngbloods on my original list, and I was like, well, I can't do that to Migos and the 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, man, Migos have just done too much work, man.
So Migos on your list is 5th in terms of Southern groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
Let's go Midwest. Now, I found that Midwest is, you know, a little bit tighter, so I only did 5. Of course,
Okay.
Bone's at the top, Mike.
Yeah.
It's Bone, and then there's everybody else. Mike, Do or Die.
I like Do or Die.
I fuck with Do or Die.
What about Crucial Conflict?
Crucial Conflict is 5th because I got Slum Village and the Cool Kids.
Okay. I like Slum Village a lot. Slum Village is another one that
It was a toss-up between Do or Die and Slum Village, and I was like, who got the best record? And that would be Pope Heaven. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Slum Village, man, but you want to talk about albums. Ain't nobody got Fantastic except for Bone.
Bone got something way better than Fantastic. And this
Well,
is what
you
need
know,
when you
I
work
don't
with
know
Mike D's
how.
headache medicine when
I'm going
work
to tell
with
you
him.
this, man. I don't know how much better East 1999 is better than Fantastic because I listen to Fantastic all the time. You want to talk about an album that has aged well? I listen
has
to
aged well.
I listen to Fantastic thinking like I can't believe I was listening to this my senior year in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like some sophisticated production, players, climax. You got Hold Tight, the remix with Q-Tip. Like that shit is beautiful. I was in there just listening to it. Get This Money. I love Fantastic. See, I'm sitting here caping for the Migos and Slum Village and trashing parts of Lil Brother. I'm all over the place.
It's not better than East 1999. Mo Murder, Buddha Lovers,
No, I didn't
Blood
say
Smokers Only,
that. I didn't say it was.
Crossroads, First of the Month,
No, Bone was my favorite group growing
Ouija
up.
Interlude, No Shorts and No Losses.
As somebody who knows East 1999 back and forth, I can honestly tell you, I listen to Fantastic today more than I listen to East 1999.
What's happened to you?
But that doesn't mean that it's not better than East 1999.
It's definitely not.
Nah. I have to be in a certain mood to listen to
feel
East
you.
1999. You know what I mean? And the actual East 1999 song and, the intro. I love the intro. I think that's one of the strongest intros ever, actually.
I don't.
You don't think so? Execution 99 style? That is a strong intro.
Not ever. It's strong. but
It's
not
up
ever.
there. That's
I'll have to listen again.
Yeah, that's a great intro. That's actually one of the best songs on East 1999. Whenever it's lazy, busy, and crazy, there's no flaws.
Don't hate on Wish and Flesh.
No, I love Flesh and Wish. But when those three guys are locked in, it's perfect. What was the other song that they did where it was just them three? Land of the Heartless. Yeah.
I was just talking on the Mirror Music podcast with Andrew. We did Crossroads. I was talking about how underrated Bone are as lyricists
Mm-hmm.
because of the melody and the harmonizing and how fast they were rapping. People weren't really catching the fact. It's like, no, these dudes can really spit their ass off, like legit. I was like talking about how Busy's verse on Thug Love is probably just about as good as Pac's, and people really don't catch it.
Now Busy went in.
Like literally, they don't catch it. Yeah.
I mean, I love their verses on Notorious Thug.
No, they're right there.
Crazy Bone went in.
Yeah.
Lazy went in. Busy went in.
Yeah. No, they're great.
Again,
They're great
those
MCs.
three, when they get on a record together, it's insane. Sean with the Super Chat says, Hot Boys, Cash Money will crush them in the verses.
Hot Boys are a collective. They're not a group.
They are a collective.
They're a collective.
And I do think that the Migos, you could tell the Migos are very Hot Boys influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when I think of the Migos and their structure, I think Quavo is kind of the brainchild of the Migos structure, kind of like their RZA in a sense. But I think
Don't do that.
no, but you know what I mean, as far as like formulating the group and all of that and putting the pieces together.
They're not that deep, Mike.
They're not. I'm not comparing.
One was a family
Does
member.
Q-Tip make you feel better then? You know what I mean? Like, it's the same concept.
I never looked at Q-Tip like that either.
He is. Like, Q-Tip is the brainchild of Tribe. Like, Tribe is the brainchild of Q-Tip.
Okay.
You put the pieces together.
I
But
hear what
yeah.
you're saying. Q-Tip
So that's
would be
what
Q-Tip would be a more accurate kind of comparison due to group size.
Sorry, the holy RZA, my bad.
To group size. No. No. Getting 9 guys from the projects together different.
Yeah, it is. It's an incredible feat.
Than getting a family member and one other person. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, well, RZA had family too. He did.
2 of the other 9.
And that kind of started it. You know what I mean? That's the nucleus.
Fair.
But anyway, Quavo, I looked at him in that sense, and I could tell that Quavo is highly influenced by the Hot Boys and their structure and the way that they even put out their solo albums. What was that, in 2018 when they all put out solo albums, Quavo and Takeoff?
Yeah.
It sounded very Hot Boy-ish, where it was like these songs could have belonged to anybody, but they just kind of, throw them on people's solo efforts. That's what Cash Money kind of did back in the day. So
Fair.
I could see the Hot Boys kind of being the genesis of the Migos, if you will. Kendall Outlaw with the Super Chat says, are we considering Mo Thug a separate group? That's a collective. Mo Thug is a collective.
Family Scriptures had some bangers on it.
It did. Crazy Bone went in on it. Crazy Bone's my favorite member, by the way.
He's everybody's favorite member.
Crazy
Mike.
was insane.
He's
man.
everybody's favorite member. All right, West Coast, obviously NWA. Mike, I took the Dog Pound at number 2.
What do I count as most wanted?
I put them at number 3.
Okay.
At number 4, Mike, I put Jurassic 5.
Okay.
Far Side.
I like Far Side a lot more than Jurassic 5.
More work by Jurassic.
Yeah, it is.
Cypress Hill. Digital Underground, Mike.
I think they're highly underrated.
I do too. Sex Packets is a dope ass album.
Mm-hmm. They were a dope original group, musicians, you know what I mean? Like they did it all.
The Alcoholics.
I love the Alcoholics. Shout out to Tash. Tash is an underrated MC.
Correct. One of the most underrated MCs. The Loonies.
Okay.
And Souls of Mischief. Now, if people are wondering why I didn't put Hyro on there, Hyro's a collective.
Collective, yeah.
And people don't understand. Hyro is essentially Souls of Mischief, Casual, and Dell.
Yep.
That's Hyro.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 of them.
I like the Far Side a lot, man.
I was struggling between the Far Side and Jurassic 5. I gave Jurassic 5 the nod about the work and about the best MC of the collective being in Jurassic 5, and that's Charlie Tuna.
Yeah. I don't think I really got into Jurassic 5 like that.
Should get into Jurassic.
I should get into Jurassic 5.
You would like it, Mike. You like Slum Village?
Nah, the beats weren't Slum Village.
Yeah, but the rhymes are yeah.
The
rhymes and some of the songwriting though. It's not. I mean, they don't have Dilla. Like, what kind of shit
That's
is
what
that?
I'm saying. Like, Slum Village after Dilla is a whole different group. Now, ask me if I like Slum Village stuff after Dilla like that. It's not the same. But again, I look at Lil Brother in a similar vein. To me, Lil Brother's MVP is Ninth Wonder. I love Ninth Wonder's production. And I think Ninth Wonder, do you remember they did the album without Ninth Wonder? Mm-hmm. Nah, it's not it. It's not it.
Okay.
It's not it. All right, Kyrie with the super chat says, who could produce Kane, G-Rap, and KRS-One today?
Today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who would you put G-Rap with?
I don't know.
Static?
No, I would want G-Rap to do something different. He's always done like the hardcore East Coast thing, so I would want to switch him up. I would want to switch him up the most, so he would get some more notoriety. I would want to put him with somebody that, even if it didn't sound right, would bring him notoriety. Because he's G-Rap, I feel like he can rap over anything.
Right.
So I would say something like Mike Will Made It or something. You know what I mean?
I don't even know how that would sound.
Yeah,
Have we heard him rhyme over anything that?
He's cool G-Rap. He's going to figure it out.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
007 with the super chat says, greetings from Tangier, Monaco, gentlemen. Shout out to 007, always traveling the world. He says, saw a girl in his Tupac shirt and thought of y'all and tuned in real quick. Hitting these streets and hip-hop is everywhere. Peace and love. As always, talk to you soon. Shout out to 007 out there in Monaco in these streets. Midget Mike with the super chat says, yo, What about the Beatnuts? I love the Beatnuts. Now that's the Beatnuts and the Lost Boys. Those guys are groups that folks don't talk about enough that I'm huge fans of.
I didn't put the Beatnuts on my list, but I did put the Lost Boys on my list. And
I love the Beatnuts.
we can kind of get to the East Coast.
Okay. Melvin Wright with the super chat says, Coop, your pass needs to be revoked if you ain't got Above the Law on the West Coast list.
Above the Law, I thought about putting them on. I was close. They're on my almost list, like the others list. I got an others list, and they're on the others list. The others right now, look, the others list is Field Mob, Young Bloods, Above the Law, and Black Alicious, Mike.
I was thinking about Black Alicious. I really was. I was like,
no,
when you said Jurassic 5, I was thinking about Black Alicious.
Yeah.
They're dope.
They are.
Rest in peace, man. Yeah. They were dope.
They were.
That not Alphabet Slaughter, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Not the Papoose joint.
No, not the Papoose joint. But yeah, man, Beatnuts, man. I love Beatnuts.
No,
again,
Beatnuts, I missed that one, yeah.
Production,
Juju's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, that Watch Out Now. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny
That's great.
It's great stuff, man. Like, even
I might need to get off my bone kick and get on my Beatnuts.
Yeah, Beatnuts was wild, man. Like, what song was that? East to West. Even if you need the vest, they're gonna find you with a crowbar dug in your chest. Beatnuts Forever. That song was crazy.
I haven't heard that in forever.
Off the Books.
Off the Books is a classic.
No, I fuck with the Beatnuts heavy.
I need to go listen to the Beatnuts.
Like,
that's the next kick.
They're not nicer than Pun or anything, but I listen to that album more than I listen to Capital Punishment personally.
I think that's slightly absurd.
I mean, I did.
The
beats is crazy, man.
The beats are crazy, but Pun is like...
Pun's wild, man.
Yeah, Pun's like having an MVP caliber season in the wrong year on Capital Punishment.
No, for real.
It's like
if he would have did that in '99,
like 1 year later, he's album of the year, MC of the year.
No, for real.
Yeah, for
Peter
real.
Parks of the super chat says, "What about Black Moon? Where do they stand? They had a great moment."
That's the thing. They had a great moment. So let's do East Coast.
Jermaine Johnson says Hit Boy with G-Rap because Hit could tap into G-Rap sound. I mean, Hit Boy was an easy one to pick, but yeah,
right.
I can see that.
Right.
36 Chambers says, I love Black Alicious Nod. Gift and Gab was a crazy MC. The Alphabet Acrobat, that's what it was legendary. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
East Coast.
East Coast, West Coast, worldwide.
Listen, East Coast does not mean New York.
I didn't say it.
Just clearing it up for the audience. You got to do these things.
Who is East Coast then?
Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemy, De La Soul, Mobb Deep, Run DMC, The Roots. Mike, I put Salt and Pepper in, and I put EPMD in, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Now, before people lose their mind, I have a separate list for what I like to call the MC DJ combo.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
That would be Eric B. and Rakim, Gangstar, Cool G Rap and DJ Polo, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
I like it. Midget Mike says, Coop, I'm old Mike Geronimo versus Royal Flush. It says, Serene Coop, I'm old Mike Geronimo versus Royal Flush. We had a conversation off air about Moment of Truth. Speaking of gangsta.
Well, hold on. I want to shout out a few more groups because the East Coast groups are so deep, Mike. The Locks, Heavy D and the Boys, the Beastie Boys, the Fugees, Naughty by Nature, the Lost Boys, Brand Nubian, Onyx, M.O.P., Black Star, Jungle Brothers.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Love Jungle Brothers, too.
And I forgot the Beatnuts. Go ahead. Nuts. All right.
Yeah, I love Jungle Brothers, too, man. Shout out to them.
Boot Camp Click is a collective. That's why they didn't make this list.
You got Helter Skelter?
No.
Love them, too.
They crossed my mind briefly. I thought about Organized Confusion, too.
Yeah. You know, I never really got into Organized Confusion.
Bar Works Crazy.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, I had to go back. I'm just saying, like, when they were out,
Yeah.
I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, checking for them at that point.
Def Squad's a collective.
Yeah. But when Pharoah came out as a solo artist, I went back and checked that, you know. Organized Confusion Bar Work. It was crazy.
Extinction Stress Agenda, I think. Yeah.
Yep. I was a big Helter Skelter fan. Like
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal.
I was
and
around
then
a lot of cats that was Nocturnal fans. I wasn't as big of a fan of
Magnum
it. Magnum
Force was my shit, man.
Okay, I didn't love Magnum Force.
I loved it. Method Man was on there. I heard a Method Man showed up to a Sean Price celebration. I think it was like yesterday.
Boogie Down Productions is a collective.
I don't know.
Or we're just going to count it, say KRS's solo catalog. Because
I think Boogie Down kind of goes in that Gangstar category, right?
Well, here's the thing.
Who's in Boogie Down?
Well, here's the thing. That's what I mean about it being a collective. It was more of a movement after Scott LaRock died, because it's like really the only MC DJ album is the first one, which is Criminal Minded.
Right. What's the difference between the group makeup of, let's just say, the Roots and Boogie Down Production and, like, you know, Public Enemy?
If that's the case, then who the hell getting kicked out? Somebody getting kicked out then. Because Boogie Down Productions, I would put Boogie Down Productions, like, honestly, I would put them right after Public Enemy and before De La.
Because I feel like if Eric B. and Rakim is a group, then, I mean, Boogie Down Productions should be too, right?
Well, if that's the case, then I'm putting them right after Eric B. and Rakim and then right in front of Gangstar.
Is Gangstar, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say that there's a better DJ MC combination than Gangstar. Because we know KRS and Rakim are who they are, right?
Correct.
But we also know the Guru is who he is and Premier is who he is. So I feel like collectively as a group, and with that group chemistry, that makes them a stronger group. Not saying the Guru's better than KRS or Rakim, but when you have Guru and Premier, that makes it a little different, right?
Here's the problem with that in relationship specifically to these two catalogs, in relationship to those 4 Eric B. and Rakim albums, and in relationship to them 4 Boogie Down Production albums. It's like, well, Mike, outside a Moment of Truth, it's all in Eric B. and Rakim and Boogie Down Productions' favor over the Gangstar material. I'm sorry. Like, it is. The only thing that they have, like, how about this Moment of Truth? Ooh.
I was going to say, how many albums does Boogie Down Productions have better than Moment of Truth?
Criminal Minded might be. It's definitely more important.
It's more important, for sure.
Lyrically, it's better. Even though that's saying
I don't know, man. Guru did his thing on that album.
It's not KRS One on Criminal Minded. All due respect to Guru, rest in peace. But
Leroy Green with the Super Chat says, Coop, you mentioned West Coast legends, but did you have Dilated Pupils in there?
Dilated crossed my mind. They didn't make my list.
36 Chambers with the Super Chat says, People Under the Stairs catalog has aged very well. Man, I haven't listened to that group in ages. Shout out to 36 Chambers. That was a blast from the past. Ooh. I'm going to have to go pull some of that up.
Makes you want to pull out the catalogs.
Yeah, for real. No,
hip-hop's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a fun thing.
Like, think about it. We're talking about Dilated and Black Alicious and Jurassic 5.
It's been so many people to do this thing, and it's been so many groups that have contributed. I think, you know, for Offset to go out there and say the Migos should be top 10, 11 is a blessing.
So I get what you're saying. See, what you're talking about in Guru and Premier is you're talking about them having the #1 rating. Having the #1 rating and having the #1 spot is different. Because here's the thing about it. The Boogie Down Production records are more classic than the Gangstar records. The Eric B. and Rakim records are way more classic. And so although that they have Moment of Truth, and the only album that I think that is between Eric B. and Rakim,
they got Hard to Earn too. That's mass appeal.
Hard to Earn, like, this is what I'm saying. Hard to Earn, all due respect to Hard to Earn, is not better than any of those Boogie Down Production albums, Mike. It's not better than not one of them. Name the one. No, I want you to name the one.
No, you're right, because I'm a big fan of Sex and Violence.
A lot of people think that's the 4th best one.
Sex and Violence is hard.
The Blueprint,
Yeah.
by all means necessary.
Yep.
Criminal Minded. Yeah, Hard Earned's not better than any of those. On the other side, Hard Earned's not better than Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Paid in Full, or Follow the Leader. It's not.
It's not better than Follow the Leader.
It's better than Don't Sweat the Technique.
Yeah.
That's it.
Michael Williams with the super chat says, rank these 2020 albums from best to worst. Alfredo, Pray for Paris, From a King to a God, and Reasonable Drought. I would say Pray for Paris, Alfredo, From a King to a God, and Reasonable Drought.
Ditto. I would flip I would tell you Alfredo's better than From a King to a God because it's holding up better.
Yeah. Prophet with the super chat says, The Last Poets. Shout out to The Last Poets. They were before all of this shit.
See?
Midget Mike with the super chat says, I got one Killer Army versus Sons of Man.
That's just off the Wu-Tang tree.
Just
so many
groups, man.
Many groups.
Where do I want to go with this? Yeah, we were talking about Moment of Truth, and there was a discussion. Is Moment of Truth a top 20 hip hop album, and how many albums can you name that are better? And I think some of the ones that kind of came up were, well, we did it by artists, right? Like, how many albums does Dr. Dre have better than Moment of Truth? I say 2.
Say 1.
You don't think 2001's better than Moment of Truth?
Not from end to end, no. Not from end to end.
You do know the next episode's on there. Still DRE's on there. The Watcher's on there. Forgot About Dre's on there. The next episode's on there. It's a lot of stuff on there. I Just Want to Fuck You's on there. Explosive is on there as well.
That's fine. So we have You Know My Steez.
Okay.
Robin Hood Theory, Work, Royalty, Above the Clouds, JFK to LAX, The Militia, Make 'Em Pay, Betrayal, What I'm Here For. Yeah, no.
I want to see what the people got to say about that. Y'all think 2001's better?
Moment of Truth.
A Moment of Truth. Okay. Yeah. Still DRE, the biggest record ever. Okay. What Public Enemy?
Hold on. So, but let's say that it's a possibility that 2001's better. I think it's an arguable conversation. I don't think that it's not.
And they come out around the same time, similar time frame.
Yeah. No, I had instrumentals to both of them on vinyl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when 2001 dropped, man. People in school was like, yo, this new Dre album's crazy.
All right.
That's the best, in my opinion, it's the best hip-hop album in 1999, hands down. And, I mean, 1999 was kind of a weaker year.
It's a down year.
In comparison to 98, but that was hands down.
In comparison to 94 to 98.
It looks very 1997-ish, in my opinion.
It's better than, 97.
97 is still slightly better because it has Life After Death.
Yeah. And No Way
What's
Out.
the top 5 in 97?
Life After Death, No Way Out, Wu-Tang Forever.
The Carnival?
Yeah.
I have to think about that. Camp Low dropped in 97.
Oh, Uptown Saturday Night.
I love Uptown Saturday Night.
It is holding up remarkably well. All the records sound great.
For sure.
All the records sound great still. I don't think people understand. Go play that Camp Low Uptown Saturday Night. All the records sound great.
Volume 1's 97 as well.
Oh, yeah. 97 Hove?
97 Hove.
18th Letter by Rakim? Yeah, 97 is way better than 99.
36 Chambers with the super chat says Cunnilingus is another one.
Somebody
Cunning Linguist. That's what it is. Cunning Linguist. Yeah, they was dope.
CNN's The War Report, 97.
The War Report was not, yeah. So many hip hop groups.
Driver's Seat was my joint.
What about CNN when it comes to this? Oh, Master P, Ghetto D. You're right.
Ghetto Dope.
Yeah. When Danger Strikes, Busta Rhymes as well. But yeah, what is what was I about to ask you?
I mean, we were having a 2001 Moment of Truth. You went to Public Enemy, so let's say 2001 and The Chronic are better. So that's 2.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Even though I feel like.
I was gonna ask you about CNN. where they look at
I
as
should have put
groups.
CNN, like maybe, but I mean, they really only did 2 albums, Mike.
Yeah.
And
Let's
one
be
of those,
fair.
and for most of like the War Report,
Yeah.
Capone's locked up, and Tragedy and Havoc, and the entire Queensbridge like jumped in and helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a great album.
Yeah. We went to Public Enemy. I think It Takes a Nation's better.
That's easy.
They
don't have anything better after that, though.
I think Fear of a Black Planet. Nah. You know what I mean? But I love Fear of a Black Planet. Great.
Bigger
album.
high moments, maybe. But
yeah, welcome to the Terror Dome and Fight the Power for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
For sure.
Right, but after those two,
Brother's Gonna Work It Out.
That ain't beating them Gangstar records. Brother's Gonna Work It Out is not beating them Gangstar records on Moment of Truth. It's not beating those Moment of Truth records, Mike. It's not.
Production wise, it may. That beat is insane.
No, I'll take You Know My Steez over that.
Ooh, 36 Chambers of the Super Chat says, Moment of Truth is the better album, in my opinion. Sounds better as a whole. 2001 had higher highs but lower lows.
That's why I said
Moment of Truth stayed in my rotation. I will say this about 2001.
Matter of fact, let me pull
After
up
the
track
first
list.
10 songs, it takes a big dive. And not that those songs are bad, but it's very top heavy. I'll put it that way. And they put everything in the front. Midget Mike with the Super Chat says, I thought Switch, Pitbull versus Flow Rider.
Oh yeah, New York Straight Talk. She knows what she wants. The Mall. Yeah, Mike. It's in the end. Like it's a setup. Yeah, Moment of Truth. The record. Yeah, everything on here, Mike. They just was like everything on here is a single, double, triple, or home run. Mike, there are no misses.
I love Royalty. Incredible record.
I love You Know My Steez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Public Enemy has one album better.
So
Ice Cube has one album better.
That's death certificate. So that's 4.
What about NWA?
No.
You don't think they have a better album than? You don't think Straight Outta Compton's better?
I think it's more important. I don't think it's better.
Ooh, that's a controversial statement.
It's not deep enough, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Not too many albums have been made like Moment of Truth where there's this many quality songs on the project. You got to really start thinking about how long is Straight Outta Compton
Let's
again?
go to Straight Outta Compton real
Right.
quick.
Because that's what I'm saying is like when the quality records on Straight Outta Compton are done, I can still keep on going.
Okay, well, Straight Outta Compton looks like this. The song Straight Outta Compton. Fuck the Police.
It's very important.
Gangsta Gangsta.
Very important stuff.
Yeah. If It Ain't Rough. Yeah. Parental Discretion is Advised. 8 Ball Remix. Something like that. Express Yourself. Compton's in the House Remix. I Ain't the One. Dope Man Remix. Quiet on the Set. Something to Dance to. It's a heavy album.
The front half's better than the second half, and that's why I'm still taking Moment of Truth, because the Moment of Truth front half is not as legendary as that. Of course, very few rap albums start off like with 4 legendary-ass songs like that.
Yeah.
But after that, it's like, yeah, I'll still take Moment of Truth because it's end to end, Mike, and it's like 20 songs in the end.
It's a lot of songs. Y'all taking Moment of Truth over Straight Outta Compton?
Put a poll up.
Jermaine Johnson with a super chat says, D-Nice post-COVID made BDP look even stronger now. It doesn't change the catalog impact, but considering his new high profile gives BDP a bonus. BDP's getting bonus points for post-COVID D-Nice. Okay. Eric B. and Rakim have one album better than Moment of Truth.
Paid in Full.
What do you think about?
So how many albums do we have? We have 5?
Yeah, something like that.
So we got Death Certificate, The Chronic 2001, Paid in Full, Takes a Nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
BDP.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe Criminal Minded.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It's kind of like with the NWA thing with Straight Outta Compton. It's like, well, I know it's more impactful. I know it's more important. But in the end, is it long enough to stand with it?
De La Soul.
No.
I'm a big De La fan.
No.
I love De La is dead. De La Soul is dead.
No.
So I don't know.
No. And that's not the De La album we would be picking up in here.
I'm picking De La Soul is dead. That's the one.
Ridiculous. 3 Feet High and Rising would be the pick.
3 Feet High and Rising is great. It's got the individual songs, but end to end album, I'm going De La Soul is Dead. Tribe.
The Low End Theory.
Definitely.
That's 6 in my book.
Midnight Marauders?
No, sir.
You don't think Midnight Marauders is better than Moment of Truth?
In the End.
Outkast.
Aquemini.
It's the only album that got better than Moment of Truth?
Correct.
No ATLians, no Southern Playalistic?
Southern Playalistic makes me think about it, but I think the ending to the Moment of Truth might. So strong from end to end, Mike.
Goody Mob.
I don't know if Soul Food's better than Moment of Truth.
I think it is.
I would like that matchup. I think that's a plausible matchup. I would give. No, I'd still might take Moment of Truth, Mike. Slightly.
I think the production
but I would
on Moment
put them right
of Truth
next to each other.
Give me Soulful. But I'm not mad at it either way. I think those are close.
I think it's very close.
Jay-Z. Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
The Blueprint.
No.
You don't think The Blueprint's better than The Moment of Truth?
No, there is no Hola Ho Veto.
Okay.
Or no Jigga That Nigga on Moment of Truth. No.
What about the Black Album?
No Moment of Clarity.
Interesting. I want to see what the people got to say about that.
No Justify My Thug either.
You don't like Justify My Thug?
Not for Quick.
What do you think happened there?
I don't know. They could have kept that though.
I don't think it's a bad song.
It's not a good one.
I think Moment of Clarity is kind of the only bad song. It's not even a bad song, really. It's
not a good one.
It's a song that production-wise shouldn't even be on that album because I think that the Black Album is kind of a magnum opus of production and Jay flexing his style, and there's no reason that beat should be on there.
Beats a mid.
Yeah, it is. Nas.
Illmatic.
It's the only album he got better than Moment of Truth?
I prefer It Was Written to Moment of Truth, but in the end, I couldn't tell you it's better because there ain't no damn Watch Them Niggas, A Black Girl Lost. Production-wise.
Biggie.
Ready to Die.
Life After Death?
And Life After Death, yes.
Okay. We're getting up to a lot of albums now.
That's not a lot of albums, Mike. We've only named like 9 or 10 albums. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we've named Ready to Die, Life After Death, Illmatic, Aquemini, The Low End Theory.
What about It's Dark and Hell is Hot?
Right there. Like Soul Food, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and The Moment of Truth to me are all in the same kind of wheelhouse.
Uncle Fran with the super chat says, guys, I got my money on the first 4 Beatnuts albums against the Lock's first 4 any day.
That's
throwing up the Dominican flag.
Heard that.
A shout out to that. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm with that. Okay, so Snoop Dogg, we got Doggy Style.
Correct.
Only built for Cuban Links.
So we're like at 12.
Supreme Clientele.
No.
Supreme Clientele is better than Moment of Truth.
No,
but
it's not. It's not because you say so, Mike. It's not.
It is to me.
How many tracks is Supreme Clientele?
It's like, what, 17 or something?
What's the best song on Supreme Clientele, Mike?
Man, it changes all the time.
Like,
it's
like
either,
you know what? No,
it's either Mighty Healthy or...
Forget that. Line them up right quick, Mike. Pull up Supreme Clientele right quick.
Sure, we can do that.
Yep. Pull up Supreme Clientele, Mike.
Let's see
Always do the Supreme Clientele thing. It's amazing.
Incredible album.
It is.
Life-changing stuff.
Mike, Nutmeg or You Know My Steez?
Nutmeg.
Nobody. You see the producer laugh. Nobody believes that, Mike. Next.
I'm sorry.
Robin Hood Theory or One?
One.
Cool. What's next? Work or what? Ghostini?
No, Saturday Night.
Work.
Work got that.
Royalty?
Oh, and Ghostini, that's royalty.
Yeah, so I got 3 of the 4 right now. Above the Clouds.
No, I thought it was 2-2.
No, it's not, Mike. Like
Above the Clouds and Apollo Kids.
That's
man,
Above
give me
the Clouds.
Apollo Kids.
Nobody thinks that Apollo Kids is better than Above the Clouds, Mike. That's what I'm saying. No, it's not. You really think Apollo Kids is better than Above the Clouds, Mike?
I like it better. I mean, it could go either way. All right, let's keep going.
No, hold on. Let's pause. First of all, Nutmeg's not better than You Know My Steez. Nobody thinks that, Mike.
Okay. All right.
So you won Robin Hood Theory versus one. That's the only thing you've won so far. Because nobody thinks Apollo Kids is better than Above the Clouds. Anybody in the chat?
Anybody in the chat think
everybody is saying Above the Clouds easily.
Okay. Hold on. We got Prophet in here. He says, did you forget 3 Times Dope? Philly. Shout out to 3 Times Dope.
Forget 3 Times Dope.
Nah, 3 Times Dope was dope. The Funky Dividends.
Yeah.
Okay.
JFK to LAX.
The Grain. I like The Grain.
I think that's The Grain.
Yeah.
It's a setup.
$1.50.
That's $1.50.
Uh-huh.
So it's 4-3. Moment of Truth. Yeah, it's 4-3.
Oh, Moment of Truth and Mighty Healthy. Oh, man, both hands dusty. Chilling with my man Rusty, low down.
I'm going to give you Mighty Healthy.
Off the burner, kind of dusty.
No, Mighty Healthy might be the best song on Supreme.
Ghost, Purple Tape, Ray co-host. Okay.
B.I. versus Friendship.
Then we got Stay True.
I think that's B.I. versus Friendship.
Okay. That could go either way. What you got next?
The Militia.
We made it.
I'll give you We Made It.
Yeah.
I think We Made It. The second best song.
The
Rep Grows Bigger.
Stroke of Death.
I'll give you Stroke of Death. Because I think The Rep Grows Bigger is one of the weaker songs on here. What I'm Here For.
Malcolm.
I think What I'm Here For is better than Malcolm.
Really?
I love What I'm Here For, and I love the beat, and I love Guru's bar style on there. Yeah.
Okay.
She Knows What She Wants.
Child's Play.
I think that She Knows What She Wants.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen again, man. What you got after that?
New York Straight Talk.
Shay Shay Ghost.
You can have that one. My Advice to You.
Wu-Banger 101.
You can have that one.
Yeah.
But, Mike, I got Make 'Em Pay, The Mall, and Betrayal. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm out of songs. So.
Yeah, and I still got 3 more quality records. That's what I mean. So
you think the production was better on Moment of Truth?
Yes. Like, think about the beats on Moment. Think about the beats. Think about what's the best beat on Supreme?
I don't know, man. It could be either one. It could be Mighty Healthy. It could be $1.50. It could be Wu-Banger 101. I don't know. But let's pick Mighty Healthy.
Now, when we talk about DJ Premier, what's DJ Premier's finest production moment, Mike?
This album.
And you trying to compare it to Supreme Clientele. You see how skewed your view is?
It probably is. But as far as on the MC level, it's not even close.
This is Guru's best mic
performance. It is. Nah. But this is Ghost.
I'm just saying it's close.
This is what propelled Ghost to that next level.
This
so,
close,
okay.
Mike.
If we want to say Supreme Clientele, if you want to say it's not better than Moment of Truth, fine. I'm never going to say that. But
same wheelhouse. The Infamous. I think The Infamous is better than Moment of Truth.
The Infamous is better.
What else you got? Because you don't have 20 yet.
We went Mobb Deep. We ain't got 20 yet?
We don't have 15 yet.
You think the Clips got an album better?
No.
Okay. You think Wayne got an album better?
No.
You think T.I. got an album better?
No.
You think, let's see where we're going next. Most Def. Think he got an album better? Tupac?
Stop that. All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. What are we missing? I feel like we're missing something.
So let's cover what we've got, though. We've got the Low End Theory, the Chronic 2001, right?
Right.
Takes a Nation.
Of course. Hold on, 36 Chambers with a super chat says, Supreme is my favorite album of mine, but Mighty Healthy over Moment of Truth? Nah, we got to re-examine that one. Moment of Truth is insane. It is.
Got Doggy Style.
Yep.
Illmatic, Cuban Links.
Yep.
Low End Theory. What else did we have?
We're going to have to put this on paper.
The Infamous.
Mm-hmm. I know we're missing some things. Midget Mike with this. Yep. I don't know, man. I think Southern Playlist.
Death Certificates 11.
Mm-hmm. Get Rich or Die Tryin.
12.
Okay. Kanye got 2 albums better.
No, he doesn't.
You don't think The College Dropout is better than Moment of Truth?
I don't. It's not better end to end.
Oh, come on, man.
It's not better end to end. Ain't no damn workout plan on no fucking Moment of Truth.
Come on, man.
Ain't no workout plan on Moment of Truth.
Do you really want to go song for song on that one?
Do you really want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Them songs ain't
Midget
like that.
Mike with the super chat says, Capadonna's verse on Wicked Wars. We met
Winter Wars.
So
sick of you.
Remember that
Kanye shit.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes.
All right. Well, since you went to that, let's just go with the College Dropout real quick.
That's fine.
Let's see. Be sleeping on the College Dropout, man.
I'm not sleeping.
Got like some animus with.
I don't have
with
no
the great Kanye West.
So tired of this nigga talking about Kanye. It's
all right.
ridiculous.
So We Don't Care versus You Know My Steez. I'm going We Don't Care.
Of course you are. I can't do this with him.
I'm just saying.
Next topic.
I mean,
you picking We Don't Care over You Know My Steez, Mike?
Yeah.
On what hip hop world are you doing that?
I mean,
put it up in the chat right quick, Mike. Can we?
I mean, you know,
somebody, anybody, put it up.
What's
in the chat.
What's the other poll looking like?
Probably looking like. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
Gangstar.
Really? What was the numbers looking like?
55 to 45.
Not bad.
You Know My Steez better than We Don't Care, Mike. I'm sorry.
Sure, I'll give you that since that's one of your favorite songs on the album.
It's one of the best songs on the album.
It's
Mike.
one of your favorites.
It's crazy.
All right, so what we got next?
Robin Hood Theory.
All Falls Down.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work.
Spaceships.
Give me Work.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's a similar concept, actually.
It is.
You know, they're both talking about going to work. I don't know, man. I might have to go Spaceships on that one.
Beats better. Rhymes are better.
I think the rhymes are better. I don't know about the beat.
The beat's better.
All right. We actually was thinking about using Work as a theme song. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't
fine.
thinking about using Spaceship.
No, we weren't.
Because that beat
That's
ain't
fair.
like that.
That's fair.
Right.
All right, what you got next?
Royalty.
Jesus Walks. You're going to have to sit that royalty down a little bit.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Above the Clouds.
Never Let Me Down.
Above the Clouds.
Come on, man. We can't do this, man. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
You just said We Don't Care is better than You Know My Steez.
That's more plausible than this.
No, it's not, Mike. Don't nobody talk about Kanye's catalog. Talk about no fucking We Don't Care.
Because he has a great catalog. That's the reason why.
When people talk about the College Dropout, they don't talk about We Don't Care.
Oh, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about Never Let Me Down is better than...
I'm just saying when you talk about
No,
some absurd
I'm not
shit.
even talking about that. I'm talking about this. Never Let Me Down is better than Above the Clouds.
I don't think so.
Cut it out, man.
I don't think so.
So we're going to put Jay-Z's verse up against Inspector Deck's verse or something? What are we doing?
We can do that.
Man, come on, man.
It's
Cut
fine
it
with
out.
me.
Cut it out.
It's fine
Coop.
with me.
You are tripping.
Put it up
Coop.
in the chat.
You really want to lose this one,
Put it
huh?
up in the chat. Put it up in the chat. Some bullshit. Put it up in the chat. Above the Clouds.
You know I'm right. That's why you.
Above the Clouds versus Never Let Me Down.
I can tell when you know I'm right.
Put it up in the chat.
You don't want to back down on this, but you know I'm right.
50-50. JFK to LAX.
Get him high. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I'm about to say JFK to LAX is better. It's a setup.
No.
Yeah.
Get him high is better than that record.
That beat ain't like that, Mike.
Come on, man. When Common made his comeback, come on, you know.
That Talib and that Kanye verse ain't like that, Mike.
Come on, man. Get him high is better than.
Just all right.
That record you're talking about is not memorable at all. It's not a memorable
Common's
record at
verse
all.
is memorable on Get 'Em High.
Yeah, nothing about
That's fine.
JFK is
That's
memorable.
fine. You know, you can have that just for the sake of Common's verse. That beat ain't like that.
Trying to catch the beat.
It's a setup. I bet he was. Beat wasn't like that.
Workout plan.
I'm going to let you call it, Mike. What
No, you
think?
got that one.
Okay. Moment of Truth.
Slow jams.
You can have that.
Yeah, I got that one.
B.I. versus Friendship.
Breathe in, breathe out. You got that one.
Yeah. The Militia.
We got skit. Oh, 2 words. I got that.
You got that. That's fine. The Rep Grows Bigger.
Through the Wire.
You got that. What I'm Here For.
Family Business.
I got that. Family Business ain't like that, Mike. Nobody talks about Family Business when they talk about the College Dropout, including your ass. Because this is the first time I've even heard you.
Family Business is incredible.
This is the first time I've even heard you talk about this song.
Because
you've been
there's so many
Kanye,
great records.
You've been spending 3 years caping for Kanye ass, and I've never heard you bring up this song.
Family Business. I've talked about Family Business.
No, you
before.
have not.
Family Business is incredible.
You out here
put that one up in the chat.
Caping for Con.
No, what you got up against Family Business again?
What I'm Here For.
Nah, man, that's Family Business.
That's fine. She knows what she wants.
Last call.
That's it. The album's over. Guess what? I still got New York Straight Talk. My advice to you: make them pay the mall betrayal.
I'm seeing a theme here. I'm seeing a theme here.
No,
this album is winning because it just got more songs than other
Mike.
albums.
It's more quality songs.
But when I'm actually matching up songs, the songs that match up beat the songs.
No, Mike, we did
album.
the same thing. It's like I told you, the Purple Tape is special about how many quality songs it is on there. It's the same thing with The Moment of Truth. It's the same thing with It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It's the same thing with Soul Food. You're not about to do that shit. Right.
I still think in the end, College Dropout is the better album.
It just has better highs that you remember, Mike. It's not better in the end. It's definitely not better produced.
You know what? I'm go back and listen to Moment of Truth again.
I don't know how you can think like
I think those big. This is the thing though.
You're thinking about the moments. You're thinking about Kanye.
That matters though. And I think that when
not
we're talking
when it comes
about
to talking about an album being better.
Yeah,
you can
but
tell me that the artist is better.
The dynamics of those albums are important, right? Like that's why Thriller is what Thriller is.
No, Thriller sounds like that too, Mike. So
this
that's not a
sounds like that.
No, it doesn't, Mike. It doesn't sound like that.
You think
Workout Plan?
Workout
Breathe
Plan?
in, breathe out?
No, I'll give you the breathe in, breathe out. And that's Ludacris's fault.
That beat to Get 'Em High ain't like that, and neither is that beat to Spaceship, Mike.
Dope.
It's dope, but it's not what you making it out to be. It's
Spaceship was cool. I mean, it's not one of the stronger beats on there.
You tried to put it over Work though, so you a little skewed.
What's Spaceships? I think as an overall song, I like it better. But yeah, I'll give you that. The beat for Work is better. I think you're looking at. This is the thing. Gangstar or Moment of Truth is good from end to end, right?
It has no cracks or flaws in it, so
and that's cool.
College Dropout does.
It has no Jesus Walks in it though, and I think when you have those dynamic moments in albums, it's important. And I think we even said that about Aquemini. Like that's what makes Aquemini slightly.
Aquemini doesn't have any missteps though, Mike.
It doesn't.
Right.
It's a perfect album in that sense.
Die Tryin doesn't have any missteps. The College Dropout has missteps. So you don't pick an album that has missteps over an album that
I'm going to go listen to Moment of Truth again, and I'm going to pick out a misstep, I'm pretty sure.
Good luck. I just did that a couple months ago. That's why I'm pretty comfortable saying this.
So there's no missteps at all.
Not song-wise. There's not a bad song on there.
There's not a song that shouldn't be on there.
Not a bad song on there. And it's very rare that a rap album gets made that way. And you need a supreme rap album that's like literally all-time epic, like in All Eyes on Me, like A Life After Death, The Trumpet, not a College Dropout.
But see, this is the thing.
You're thinking about Jesus Walks.
But I think that even when we talk about big with like Life After Death and even
big.
Huh?
Them records are big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're bigger than them Kanye records.
No,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not gonna say all that, but what I'm gonna say
ain't no
is,
damn kicking the door on College Dropout. You hear what I'm saying?
But again,
but he has all of those high moments.
You need those dynamic moments, and I don't think Moment of Truth has those dynamic moments like these albums that we're talking about. Like, there's no You Don't Know even on Moment of Truth. And that's what makes it difficult. It's like, okay, it's dope in the end. I think its most dynamic moment is Royalty, in my opinion.
You just brought up arguably Jay-Z's best song when you had to use a dynamic moment.
But I'm talking about the Blueprint, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Blueprint had dynamic.
And you
Takeover is a dynamic moment.
Takeover as a song, Mike, isn't like inherently better than like the stuff that's on Moment of Truth. I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to break it to you.
Really?
Mike, when's the last time you listened to Moment of Truth, Mike?
I'm gonna go listen to it.
No, I'm asking you.
I think it's been about a year.
I think you need to listen to Moment of Truth again.
I think I was like on a road trip or whatnot, and I was riding. I was listening to Moment of Truth. I love Moment of Truth.
It's really upper echelon, Mike.
No, I love it. Moment of Truth.
It's really, really upper echelon stuff. It is. It's like production-wise, rhyme-wise. Mike, the song sequencing, like all the things that matter in making an album that they did. The only thing that you can say is that there are bigger albums with bigger moments.
Yeah.
But end to end, no.
I think they were the biggest moments for them outside of Mass Appeal.
Like I feel like It's Dark and Hell is Hot might be better because I feel like both albums are comparable end to end. But about the moment, about Stop Being Greedy and Get At Me Dog and ATF.
I think the range and stuff too kind of matters.
Guru's got range on here.
Guru's doing his thing.
This is Guru's finest moment. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody talks about how they love Guru so much, how they love Preem so much. This is their finest moment.
No, I agree with that.
So it's like, well, then how is what you saying adding up then if Primo is who he is and Guru is who he is? Like, am I missing something?
CJ Kid with a super chat says, make them pay and Above the Clouds are as hard as You Don't Know.
Make them pay by Crumb Snatcher is a special, special moment.
Common B. I think B's better than.
I might take B over Moment of Truth because I feel like it's a player with no skips and it's great.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when you talk about those moments, it's like, oh no, the moments on Moment of Truth are higher than the moments on B though. Like royalty's bigger than the corner or Go.
I don't know. Go was pretty big. I prefer royalty
Me too.
over Go. I don't know if I prefer it over. Yeah, I prefer it over the corners too. And the corner was dynamic.
And that's why I mean, royalty's not even my favorite song. I told you, like Work, You Know My Steez, Above the Clouds. Those were the joints people was playing.
Yeah, You Know My Steez was everywhere.
It was because it's like
the
that,
beat.
Mike.
The beat itself was everywhere.
That's what I'm saying because that beat is like that, Mike. I told you it's one of the best beats ever.
I don't know if I could put it above The College Dropout.
I think you should go listen.
I'm gonna go listen, but again, like I said, the moments and just the game-changing nature
It's a top
of The College Dropout.
If you don't think it's top 20, it's close.
Why do you think that? Yeah, of course, it's definitely top tier.
Yeah.
Why do you think that Get Rich or Die Tryin is better than The College Dropout?
It's just too many haymakers on that album, Mike.
I think there's some skips there.
Where? Oh, what, the Bloodhound joint with Buck?
Uh-huh.
So this is what I mean.
So
how about this? Get Rich or Die Tryin is more in the vein of an All Eyes on Me and a Life After Death, that the haymakers are so like, the haymakers are so big. It's like a Ernie Shavers hook. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's different when it hits you, that it kind of makes up for some of that. It's like What Up Gangsta's bigger than everything on Moment of Truth.
I mean, as far as like big records, this shit bigger than everything.
That's what I mean.
So I mean, yeah,
it's too big. It's very much. It's very it's very All Eyes on Me Part 2, like in the sense that it's like, well, damn, everything on here real big.
Right.
Like everything.
Yeah.
I told you, Mike. Like My Style. Like that's an album record. It's like most guys would kill to have that for a single. He like, I don't even need to release this.
Nope. I don't even think they didn't make a video for If I Can't Do It, Can't Be Done, but it was everywhere. I remember performing at it. Like,
that's better than 21 Questions to me. That's what I'm saying.
I think that got released because of Nate Dogg.
It did. I mean, it was going to be big. Yeah, PIMP in the club.
Now, that's the record I didn't really like that much, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't really love PIMP like that.
I didn't love it, but it's like,
I get it.
It's a banger, Mike.
Yeah.
He's on a hit run. That's kind of like that's kind of like All About You or How Do You Want It. That's how I look at that record. It's like, not as good.
Yeah, no,
not
I got
as good.
What you mean. I like when 50 was like, niggas want to rhyme like me, shine like me. They don't walk around with a 9 like me.
Like, and to just stick it in people's back a little bit. He put Wanksta on there on the back end. It's like, yeah, remember I made this banger for 8 Mile too. Like some more bangers?
Nobody likes me.
Your life's on the line?
That's okay. Yo, life's on the line is crazy. He had everything on there.
He had everything on there.
Yeah, he pretty much threw in the kitchen sink. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of Patiently Waiting.
It's banger, Mike. Don't Push Me.
I love Don't Push Me, though.
There's all types of stuff on there.
Bloodhound and
we're still not talking
Patiently Waiting.
And we're still not talking about the best song on there. Many Men.
Think Many Men's the best song?
Yes, it is.
I think What Up Gangsta, but I could see that.
If you say that, I wouldn't argue with you. Yeah.
36 Chambers with the super chat says Moment of Truth is a top 20 all time. You need Into the 36 Chambers or All Eyes on Me to really compete. Commons B is beautiful, but the back half suffers compared to Moment of Truth.
Into the 36 is better.
I thought we mentioned that. We didn't?
No.
I think I was going to get to that, and I said Supreme Clientele.
We need to make the full list.
Yeah, we do. CJ Kid with the super chat says, Coop, 21 Questions or She Knows What She Wants.
She Knows What She Wants.
Yeah, I need to go back and listen, man.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think I really remember harping on the first half of...
the first half of Moment of Truth is the highlights. The second half is the depth, and that's where Guru really starts shining. Yeah. It's like you've gotten used to the fact that it's like, okay, Primo, obviously, even for all the work he's done, it's like he kept his best beats for this.
Mm-hmm.
The production is so stellar on that.
Hell on Earth. No. I mean, you put this album over It Was Written, so
I would have to think about it. Yeah. But Hell on Earth, see, that's what I'm saying. Hell on Earth starts slow. This starts really fast.
It does.
It's like, think about this. It's like, well, You Know My Steez is better than the intro to Hell on Earth. You know what I'm saying? Then there's Drop a Gem on Them. That's better than Robin Hood Theory. But then there's like work, royalty, above the clouds. Oh, that's better than 345 because 345 is like extortion with Method Man. Is that better than royalty? No. Is Trife Life 2 better than Above the Clouds? It's like no.
Who deserves to be hip hop's greatest group?
Wu-Tang or Outkast?
Leroy Green with the super chat says, Mike, from the last shout out, I got a dimple in my face and it's nothing I could go after Made fan base. I know what he said. Mace's fan base. He said Made. His best line on the song Get Rich or Die Tryin'. Yeah. Got a dimple in my face. I can go after Mace's fan base. Like 50 was killing it.
It's ridiculous. Hook
so you think
crazy.
that, all right, so we're talking album for album though. So do you think that still puts Wu-Tang at number one? If we're talking about just the albums that were made by the group, like we're not counting any of the solo efforts or any branch offs or anything like that.
Right. No, that would be Outkast then. Who would you argue for? Because I feel like you want to argue for somebody else.
I hate to argue against Outkast.
But you're about to. Go ahead. Proceed.
Just trying to be objective here.
No, I appreciate that.
I think Tribe's music has aged incredibly well.
Knew you were going here.
I think Tribe's longevity, I mean, it speaks for itself, even all the way up into, their most recent effort, which now is about 5 or 6 years ago. I think Tribe created a subgenre. Tribe has kids everywhere, Do
they? Because you just tried to clown Little Brother a little bit.
Well, I really didn't even count them, but, I guess you could say they're Tribe's kids too. Kanye is one of Tribe's kids. Pharrell's Tribe's kids. Outkast. It comes from the tree of Tribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it would be a crazy thought to say, you know what? Tribe might have that spot. When you and I did the verses and I had Tribe and you had Cass, I feel like I won that one. And I don't want to say pretty handedly, but I think what Cass kind of suffers from is two things. One of the things they can help. The other was something that, they were just doing in the moment. I think that you brought up something when we were doing the Mobb Deep album versus ATLians. Mm-hmm. It kind of exposed the fact that Cass never really honed in and mastered one of their styles. It's like they kept changing so much that they never really mastered one of those things. I find that the album or the songs that may have the most legs happen to be the Southern Playalistic stuff.
I've always said that.
And I think that that's kind of a problem. And I'm trying to figure out why.
Because that's the street stuff, Mike. I hate to be the one to break it to you.
That's organized noise.
This is what I mean about how rap's always going to be in the streets. Is because the stuff that you find that holds really is the stuff that has more of a grittiness to it. From wherever it is that you come from, it just tends to hold better than the glossy, shiny stuff. It's like everybody trying to make a record like a Crossroads or All About the Benjamins or I'll Be There For You or One More Chance remix. Mike, it's hard to do and it's hard to reach that level. But the streets, they always going to love that stuff. So Ain't No Thing holds up. Yeah. Claiming True holds up. Hootie Hoo holds up. Yeah. Crumbling Herb holds up.
Get Up, Get Out.
Get Up, Get Out. Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My intro to let you know this stuff's going to hold. Yeah.
As much as I love Elevators, I can honestly say I probably don't go to it all the time. I think
I ride to it now.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since I've been able to ride to it again.
I play Award Tour all the time. I play Electric Relaxation all the time. I play Bonita. I play the Bonita remix all the time. I play jazz all the time. You know what I mean? And I think that one of the reasons why Tribe's sound has continued to reverberate is because they kept performing. And I think there's something to not performing as a group on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
We seen it happen to the Fugees too. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like the score is not great. It kind of fell off the radar because we never saw them anymore,
Right. The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Moment of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. You think It's Dark and Hell is Hot is better too, don't you?
Mm-hmm. CJ Kid with the super chat says, "You're doing albums. Remember, I got the list. Last time it was written was number 13. If Moment of Truth is better, then it's 13. So he's holding you to your original list.
Yeah, but that's why I was telling him the list wasn't finished when we was doing it. We hadn't put all the albums in. Right. And I hadn't talked to you at all about it. Or talked to the people. I was like, this.
You were kind of just jotting that. Right, that's difficult to do.
Well, I mean, that's why I said too, is like, it's kind of personal. I'm going to bring it to Mike and bring it to the people to help objectify the list.
Yeah, see where we can put things.
So right now, Mike, we have Illmatic, It Takes a Nation, The Purple Tape, Aquemini, Doggy Style, The Chronic, Chronic 2001, All Eyes on Me, Life After Death, Ready to Die, Enter the Wu-Tang, Death Certificate, Low End Theory. I gave you Supreme Clientele, The Infamous, Paid in Full, Get Rich or Die Tryin, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick. I had a Moment of Truth. Is that fair?
That sounds fair. To Pimp a Butterfly. Good Kid, Mad City.
First of all, you're going to try me in here like that, and that's not cool.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
The answer is no.
No to Pimp a Butterfly?
The answer is no.
The Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay, it's time to go. No. Sign us off. Cut off the thread. We're done here.
We didn't mention any Eminem albums. I mean,
that would put it at 20 right now.
Right there? Okay.
Right there would put it at 20.
Okay.
Now, that's saying that it's better than Criminal Minded. By All Means Necessary, Straight Outta Compton, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Midnight Marauders. Trying to think what else. It Was Written. America's Most Wanted. Niggas for Life. Liquid Swords.
Liquid Swords. I think it's better than Liquid Swords.
See, that's the difference between you and me, is that I think Liquid Swords is better than Supreme Clientele.
You're right.
And that's where we differ.
That's where we differ, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we differ. I don't know how you can love some of the, like.
I love Liquid Swords. Shadowboxing changed my life. I love Fourth Chamber, all that shit. I love Liquid Swords.
Like that. Like, how about this? Like, The Purple Tape is the best second half of an album ever. But Liquid Swords isn't far off pace, Mike. Second half of the album starts off Fourth Chamber, Shadowboxing, Killer Hills 10304, and Investigative Reports. And then what? Swordsman, I Got Your Back. Yeah, that's one of the best second half albums too, Mike.
CJ Kid with the $20 super chat showing love. He says, "I see myself as a black rap messiah, colosso, spreading my gospel through electric wires, spit fire through speech so I can reach each and every time Dick and Jerry slipping like Petro jelly." Yo. Bars. Speaking of which.
Ooh, The Diary by Scarface.
I was just thinking about Scarface. I was going to mention him.
I prefer The Diary, The Moment of Truth, but that doesn't necessarily make it a better album.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
no, I agree.
I prefer The Diary. But I prefer Face.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's probably where I'm at with the Ghost thing, too. But
right. See, I prefer the Jizza, too. It's like, no, I'll listen to the Jizza rhyme all day.
No, Jizza's crazy.
He is. I told you, Mike, that whole unbalanced like elephants and ants on seesaws, that changed my life. I was like, what the heck? I was like, what type of frame of mind makes him even see an elephant and an ant on a seesaw? I was like, oh, it's beautiful.
Where do you think this puts a group like, I mean, we're going to bring this back around before we get out of here to like the beginning of the show. Where does a group like Run DMC fit?
You know, it's funny when you bring up the longevity thing. It's like, well, they did 6 albums, but they're really just known for the first 3, Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so.
Game changers, too.
So, yeah, the impact. So, where they win is on hip impact and classic records. But even with them, they don't necessarily win a longevity battle. You know? They don't necessarily win a song battle. So, the impact is sometimes immeasurable, though.
You don't think they win a song battle? Because I think they'd be a problem for anybody in a versus. Anybody. Those songs are big. I think
they're big, but how big are they in today's climate? And how many of them are there? How many of them are there really?
I think King of Rock would be big.
I think Sucker Emcees would be bigger.
Sucker Emcees is awesome.
I think Sucker
it's like that. Yeah, they got joints. Brandon Charles of the Super Chat says,
Hold on.
Outkast as writers, topical song structure, musicality are better than Tribe. Tribe's pocket is amazing. They are just so consistent, but Cass is better.
So it's like that. And Rock Box are on the first album. Okay. King of Rock. That's the one that's got King of Rock.
King of Rock, crazy.
You Talk Too Much. What else is on here? See, that's what I mean.
Oh, let's look at their greatest hits. How about that?
Yeah, I like to go album to album because sometimes you got stuff.
You got some album stuff.
Yeah,
Back then, it wasn't like that, though. You got King of Rock. It's tricky. Beats to the rhymes. Walk This Way. Run's House.
I love Run's
Rock
House.
Box. Yeah, I love Run's House.
Run's House is my shit.
Yeah. Rock Box. Peter Piper. Mary Mary. Wasn't a big fan of that. Hard Times. You Be Illin'.
I like You Be Illin'.
It's Like That. My Adidas. Sucker Emcees. You Talk Too Much. Down with the King. They got Christmas and Hollis. They missed a couple songs. They didn't have Sucker Emcees on here.
Yeah, they be in a little bit of trouble, Mike.
You think so?
Yeah, if that's the greatest hits, then yes. Because that's what I'm saying is that even for our age bracket, we look at them a certain way because they were the generation before us, and we're like, oh yeah, these big hits and da 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 da. It's like, no, you have to understand that guys have come along and made hits that are just as big. They're just not as impactful.
So where does that place them on an all-time list? Because it seems like their biggest strength is in the impact.
That's why I have them like 6 or 7. You know, like because it still matters and the records are still the records. Like Sucker Emcees is still Sucker Emcees. Tricky is still Tricky. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, when we were growing up, Run DMC was always at the top of all these lists.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Think about when we grew up, though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, does that mean as time goes on, they could go further and further back?
Look at it like this. Around the time Hard to Earn is coming out, they're pretty much done, Mike. You know what I mean?
It's crazy when you think about it.
Think about when Dr. Dre is making the Chronic and Doggy Style. It's like, no, they're almost done.
I mean, I think they were about done.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I mean, Down with the Kings, like that album came out, the album with Down with the Kings, that came out in 93.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's the same year Into the Wu-Tang came out. It's like they kind of were done, Mike.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't compete with Wu-Tang.
Can't compete with that.
Right.
No.
And so it's like you can revere them, but you also have to be honest about what it looks like. And it's like, no, Mike, they don't have it.
Are they ahead of a De La Soul or something?
No, I have De La ahead.
I would too.
Like, how about this? Even for how great their albums are, this is what I mean. Is it's like they don't have an Enter the Wu-Tang, Mike. Yeah. Like when we talk about classic records, it's like, no, like Wu-Tang could pull up with Enter the Wu-Tang and take a lot of those records off the board, Mike.
Yeah. No, yeah. You're right. You're
it's
right.
like, oh, you gonna play Sucker Emcees? I'ma play Cream.
That's not even
You
fair.
gonna play Tricky? I'ma play Wu-Tang Clan. Ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Fair. Yeah.
You play It's Like That. I'ma play It Can It Be All So Simple. You play Walk This Way. I'ma play Chess Boxing to Protect Your Neck.
Yeah.
And they ain't talking about even Shame on a Nigga, Mike.
That's tough, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's off one album.
That's one album. That's not
one
even
album. So think about what I'm saying. It's like, no, Enter the Wu-Tang can take a lot of Run DMC's best stuff off the map.
Shit, the W even got some sleepers on it.
We're not gonna make Mike. They're not gonna make it to the W. That's what I'm saying. And so even when people talk about Wu-Tang's album catalog, it's like, no, respect like what they did, because it's like, oh no, they got enough records on a couple of albums to take off almost anybody off the map, including Run DMC.
When I talk about just Wu-Tang albums, I'm specifically thinking about the Outcasts, the Tribes, like the Public Enemies of the world.
Like, how about this? Even with Tribe, I know Tribe made better material album-wise for longer, but I still think I could beat you with Wu-Tang in a vacuum because I only need to win 11 of the 20. It's like, oh no, some of them Low End Theory records is not about to beat them Wu-Tang records.
I'll take that.
You can.
I'll take that.
I wouldn't do it.
What was the one we were going to do before Clips and Migos?
We're
I
doing
think
Clips
it was.
and Migos. No, we're doing that.
We're going to do
You were
Clips
disrespectful.
No, we'll do Clips and Migos.
You tried to do Win the Last Time.
I want to do this Tribe and Wu-Tang too, though.
Oh, hold on. I'm putting it down. No, I'm going in my notes.
No, put both of them down. Esquire with the Super Chat says, I love Moment of Truth, and I own it on vinyl. 36 Chambers, Liquid Swords, Midnight Marauders, America's, AMW, is that, I'm tripping.
All Eyes on
All
Me?
Eyes on Me. No, it's not All Eyes on Me.
America's
It's,
Most Wanted.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted. Yeah, Cube. It was written, Blueprint, College Dropout, Supreme, ATLians, Me Against the World, and Late Registration are all better.
Who are we doing? Pete Rock and Large Professor? Was that one of them?
We still doing Pete Rock and Large Professor? You really want to do that?
No,
I'll win that, man.
no, you can have it.
Yeah, I'll win.
You would win that. I've been a little disrespectful.
Profit with the super
I've been
chat
playing Give Me
says-
Yours lately. I've been getting nostalgic on Do or Die. That's the 1st thing I ever bought with my own money. I've been playing Do or Die again.
Profit with the super chat says, where would you rank Schoolie D's catalog?
In terms of what?
Yeah, in terms of what? It's kind of Ice-T-ish, I guess, you know.
Right.
You know.
I think that's a very appropriate way of stating that. And not as deep as Ice-T.
Not as deep as Ice-T's either.
Right.
No, definitely not. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to, I guess, delve into this group conversation and really put together a list. But off the top of my head, and I could be proven otherwise, I'm seeing Tribe possibly having the best advantage here.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to play these Wu-Tang records and like just ruin all that for you, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got to be Wu-Tang records, too. And I don't want to hear nothing from Only Built from Cuban Links and, Liquid
Mike,
Swords.
that would be
none
a
of
massacre.
that stuff.
That would be a massacre.
No. I think we're all clear that all those things included, Wu-Tang's the greatest group ever. I'm talking about group efforts.
Now, here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I play soundtrack stuff? Because Winter Wars is a soundtrack song before it's on Iron Man. And you know that.
Is that a Wu-Tang song, though?
Yes. It's literally got Raekwon, You God, Master Killer, and Ghostface on there.
That's fine.
It's definitely a Wu-Tang song.
That's
What
fine.
kind of
You know,
shit is that,
it's
Mike?
Tribe. I mean, I'm not that worried.
Right, ain't no telling how
Tribe
many
got
Scenario or Bonita remixes you about to play, nigga.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Right, ain't no telling how many remixes.
Can
you
I
about
play
to
remixes?
Yes, you can, Mike. Just because it's Wu-Tang, you can play remixes.
So I could play the Bonita original and the remix. Not that I'm gonna do anything like that, but hypothetically, since you want to get soundtrack songs,
If that's what you want to do, Mike.
that's what sets Tribe apart too. Them remixes, man.
I mean, if that's the route that you want to take to beat Wu-Tang,
I'm not gonna do it
you
like
can
that.
take that route. You're in all kinds of trouble.
I don't think so. You got that first album, though. I will give you that.
A lot of
first
stuff on
album's
Wu-Tang
crazy.
Forever is better than the stuff on Midnight Marauders. It's just too spread apart, Mike.
I mean, Wu-Tang Forever got some shit on it.
That's what I'm saying. Reunited, Cash Still Rules, Older Gods, Better Tomorrow.
I love all those songs.
Yeah.
I love Reunited.
Even though I don't like It's Yours, Triumph.
Yours is hard.
Yeah.
Machine
Impossible.
Gun Rap, all the niggas in the back stadium pack, linebacker
Bells
nigga
of War.
flash. Yeah.
Up in the MGM, coked up, psych. 6 niggas walked in, flashing they gems. Peace side.
All right, we should. When are we doing this? We should do this soon.
Soon.
We should do this soon.
Actually, I have a little time coming off from work next week. We can get to this next Monday, actually.
Next Monday. Talking about a station head next Monday?
Yeah, let's make it a station head day, like after we get done with the studio show.
Okay.
We can get both of these battles knocked out, actually.
We can make a whole day out of it,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. We can make it a station head day on Monday.
I'll
I'll pull up and I'll do the show. We'll get
Okay.
our list ready. We'll take a little break. We'll crank up at like 5 p.m.
Okay.
We'll do the Tribe and Wu-Tang. Actually, we should do Migos and Clips first because Tribe and Wu-Tang is prime time.
I was going to say, yeah, we got to do the undercard first.
Yeah, undercards, Migo, Clips. Then Tribe, Wu-Tang. Definitely about to beat you.
I think you might be in trouble with the Clips thing.
Not worried at all, Mike.
You're not worried?
No.
I mean, you know that
You know what I'd
some
like?
of those mixtape things probably aren't on streaming platforms.
Oh, no. About to make sure that some of this stuff is on streaming platforms.
Yeah, you make sure that stuff before you
No.
agree to this.
I already know.
That's why where the super chat says, I'd also take Hell on Earth, Illadelph, Half-Life, B, Things Fall Apart, Like Water for Chocolate, Southern Playalistic, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy over Moment of Truth. Moment of Truth is top 30, 40-ish.
I'll take My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for certain. The rest of those albums, not so certain, but all of those are classics. Love me some Illadelph.
I think the Southern Playalistic thing is interesting. But
like
I
that
can
idea, too.
see Moment of Truth edging it out, but it's close. I think if Cass were the MCs that we knew them to be later on Southern Playalistic, then most definitely. But I think that's the only trepidation.
You really think you about to get a Clips this work, Mike, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
And I love the Clips, and I don't want to sound like that. I'm just trying to be fair.
No, you're disrespectful. You know what I need you to do?
I'm not disrespectful.
I need you to reach out to Station Head today.
We'll set that up.
So that we can be synced up so that I can play my music.
Okay.
Because, Mike, I'm going to drop more bombs and flex in 95. Okay.
36 Chambers with the super chat says, just had to say, while I respect Esquire, not my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Moment of Truth is 100% top 20 all-time album. Charles Manning with super chat says, Nas stands the test of time, that these people had to honor him. He said, Nas stands the test of time, that these people had to honor him. They wanted to get rid of Nas. They're like, we got to recognize this guy. He's doing a lot. Billboard first, now the rock and roll next, to honor him. That's because of you guys, man. Y'all put the pressure on these folks, and they're doing what they got to do.
Can't wait to give you this work on Monday, Mike. You call Station Head when we get done with this show.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, you about to get this work.
Coop's excited about this Clips and Migos matchup.
See, because you underrate Hell Hath No Fury, as do other people, and I'm going to show you exactly what Hell Hath No Fury is on Monday.
I mean, shit, when you and I did the Neptune.
Crawl, press one button, make the wind fall.
No, I don't underrate Hell Have No Fury. You remember when we did the Timberland and Neptune matchup?
I ain't spent $1 rap dollar in 3 years.
Holla. You remember when we did the Neptune and Timberland matchup?
No, I remember. You played a lot. You played a lot of Hell Hath No Fury. You did.
Black.
Chinese New Year.
Yeah, Chinese
that's what
New
I mean.
Year.
This shit crazy, Mike. That album's crazy, Mike.
Crazy.
It is literally going down, in my opinion, as maybe the most underrated rap album of all time. Like, it's getting to that level with it.
Think so.
It's getting to that level for the time that it came out because, I mean, it's getting to the point now where it's getting, it's like 17 years old now. And usually when something's that old, it's like, remember Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop by Diamond D? Mm-hmm. That used to be like the most underrated hip hop classic ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like that used to be the one. Or Master Ace's Sitting on Chrome. Those used to be the two. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. Like unheralded classic albums that really don't get the love that they deserve. Hell Hath No Fury is that, but I think Hell Hath No Fury is like inherently better than both of those albums.
Mo Better Cover the super chat says, do y'all think LL Cool J and Black Thought's album would be a dope project?
Together? They doing a project together?
I saw them on the Breakfast Club. I didn't click it. Yeah, no disrespect. I just didn't have the time to watch it. But yeah, I saw that they were on the Breakfast Club together. I don't see how that'll rock, to be honest. I think they're both very great at two totally different things.
Never underestimate greatness, though.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
they can figure it out.
Yeah,
and I think that Black Thought can inspire anybody to,
Yeah, he's going to inspire your pen game, but maybe L is helping with the songwriting and the hook process.
Yeah, but again,
I was serious
what's
about
the production looking like?
I was serious about that Jadakiss hook thing earlier too. It's like that is the thing.
I think so.
Yeah, because he has everything else. Because I'm playing the songs back in like this is what I mean. Remember By Your Side? Mm-hmm. It's
love that shit.
It's like no, when he has a framework and he can just go, he can go. But when he has to do the hook work,
it takes something away.
It does.
Yeah. All right, we're about to get up out of here, man. And yeah, man, great conversation. I think Monday we should have some lists together. Okay. Let's come back with some lists from this conversation that we just had. I'm gonna listen back to the conversation, and I'm gonna draw up a top 30, I guess, groups. It's very tough to do.
Well, hold on. We drawing up this top 30 group before you take this L or after this L? Because it might be better to do it on Wednesday after you take this L.
It might. You know what? You're right. It might be better to do it after because if you take this L, you're just going to have to put the Migos ahead of Clips.
It's not happening. And I was actually thinking about your Tribe Wu-Tang thing, too, because forever you're talking about Wu-Tang's catalog, with Tribe's catalog being as strong as it is, if I can beat you with just Wu-Tang songs, as in on Wu-Tang albums, it will say a lot about Wu-Tang.
Listen, I'm confident in Tribe's catalog. I think I'm more confident with Tribe's catalog than damn near anybody. Public Enemy's up there too, but yeah, Tribe's catalog.
It'd be different when it'd be 5 guys that can rap their ass off rapping on a song, Mike. It'd be hitting different.
No. I mean, from a technical standpoint, I mean, Wu-Tang's tough to match.
You know what's the most underrated song on Into the Wu-Tang? Clan in the front, let your feet stomp.
It is.
Niggas on the
Shit
left,
hard.
rag shit to death. Hoods on the right, wild for the night. Thugs in the back, come on and attack the clan in the front. Let your feet. Mike, I got stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, oh, no. Nobody's immune to that. Not even Tribe Called Quest, sir. Nobody's immune to that. Wu-Tang forever, Mike.
Yeah, I'm sitting here rattling off in my head like, yeah.
The Wu is coming through, sort of like a mirror.
I mean, honestly, man, 36 Chambers is going to be a problem. That's going to be a hurdle I got to get over. And if I could take those knockout punches, I can deal with everything else.
How about this? Like, Into the Wu-Tang and the Low End Theory are top 10 rap albums, but Enter the Wu-Tang is better to me because
I mean, it hits harder. I think, depending on what you're looking for. But in a matchup like this, if we were going song for song, 36 would give you more,
like,
bang.
Oh my God, it's like, because the excitement factor and the wow factor is like,
oh no, I'll concede to that.
It's all time high on
I'll
that
concede to that. That's why I got to spread it out and really, make sure that I pick my spots.
No, I gotta. You know what I need to do? This is actually going to force me to go on a Wu-Tang dig too, and I'm cool with that because I'm going to actually have to go and find some of their best stuff from the stuff that's not on Enter the Wu-Tang and Wu-Tang Forever. It's like I kind of know what records I have to pick from those albums. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. People are saying that they got Wu winning and Migos winning.
And also because of Tribe, it's like, well, there are records that I would play against other groups that probably aren't going to fly against Tribe. It's like, well, Duck Season's not going to fly against Tribe. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I got Heaters.
Heaters is hard. I don't think that's even going to fly against Tribe.
I was thinking borderline.
And I
Heaters
love Heaters.
I don't know. Heaters is pretty hard, man.
Heaters is hard.
Black Shampoo.
Hang glide for my nigga to Cal.
That's true, master.
That shit crazy. Prophet One with a super chat says, Schoolie is not Ice-T-ish. He dropped PSK while Ice was in Jersey. That PSK is an incredible classic. We might need to think about that being a top 50 hip-hop song, too.
Maybe.
Top 100, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Hit like and subscribe, everybody. Hit the bell icon so you know when we live, all of that. Great show. We're probably going to do some little reaction videos or some mic checks or whatever between today's show and Monday's show. So, we're going to be checking in with the folks.
LP with the last $5 super chat says, I'm the best since he died and he lied. The spirit of competition, one verse can start jihad. That's the intro to Hell Hath No Fury.
Yeah.
It's the re-up game.
Intro. All right, peace, y'all. Appreciate it. And tell a friend to subscribe to According to Hip Hop. We're going to holler at y'all next time.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. No, the Wu Tribe thing, that's fun.
Oh, yeah. Damn.